What would Xander like to accomplish this evening?
I wanna get to Ryver and try and scribe my spells.
Nice.
Really?
Shut up.
That's what you want to do?
I was part of the bit, but the bit's over. All right.
What would Louise like to accomplish this evening?
Get to Ryver.
She's not going to
At
be Get to
least
Ryver.
get off the
Just-
bridge.
There is nothing else to do, Tim.
What would Thrall like to do this evening?
Let's see. I want to check Ryver's informational storage if there is any information pertaining to the eastern part of the continent.
Yeah, you'll find that there.
Okay. That's,
Sure, I
that's
won't.
interesting.
Give it a shot.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pick
good.
up Thrall's mind. Like, oh, there's an east side of the continent. What's over there? Time to
Right.
find out.
It's might be the first kind of dip into that thought process and start that conversation. What would Razir like to accomplish this evening?
Razir wants to get to Ryver. surprise, and see how Pound's doing. It's been a few weeks since he's been away, so see what's happened.
Been a while.
It
A little
has.
Yeah, and maybe go to his favorite bar and have a drink.
Okay.
That's it. Nothing fancy. But yeah, just go see. Also, check out what Black Star was talking about with there being something going on.
Right. Okay. So we all just kind of discussed what happened in the last couple of sessions, but in the attempt to throw off the guards of Ilisnarian, the Dawn Guard members of seemingly of the raiders of Ilisnarian, the attempt to throw them off the trail of you guys and your relationship or previous relationship with Beacon, you decided to flee the mountainside entryway that kind of led down to that lab and gallivanted across the open terrain and through the woods, encountering various things along your travels, including one JJ older gentleman who bestowed some gifts upon you, some woodland creatures, and then a small boy who was following you, and that took up a large chunk of last session, but then eventually made your way to this bridge, making it approximately halfway across midday as the sun is kind of like streaming down and reflecting off of the water and kind of rushing by from right to left from your perspective as you're traveling over this. A trap and ambush was set that you eventually just kind of gave into and decided to jump into the fray and take on these hobgoblins, and then eventually a 5-armed troll that came from a giant hole in the bridge. And it is in the aftermath of that battle as the final arm of the 5-armed troll kind of hits the ground and the dust is kind of settling and blood runs across the bridge and kind of finds the path of least resistance as it begins to drip off of the bridge itself. You find yourselves in that cold, still moment, just hearing the light sound of a breeze kind of coming across the bridge itself and the water kind of running underneath.
I am going to immediately go around and double tap all of them that are dead, just to make sure. Just to make sure. And as I start doing that, check y'all's horses. Make sure they're all right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure mine's dead.
Yeah, I
pretty
think
sure.
all of them are dead.
Mine's
I
fine.
think a few survived.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I don't remember. Don't remember.
Go check the horses.
Okay. I mean,
I am going to eat 6 berries.
there were horses on this battle map.
They were like somewhere in here, in this area. They got caught in the jaws of the trap.
Yeah.
I can go back and check the... I'm pretty sure if I had marked them as dead, because I had you actually on horses there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
I'm pretty sure they
dead.
all. I'm pretty sure they all died. Obviously, except for Spera poofed. I remember that specifically, and then you kind of.
I dismissed him.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, he's got lots of health. He was fine.
Okay. So, so Razir goes around and just kind of puts one into each of these still figures. Just hear the.
Especially the troll.
Yep.
I give it like 2 or 3, just to make sure.
Troll's not moving.
Okay.
The lifeless forms of your horses lay still against the cold stone. What are the rest of you doing?
Okay.
Just gonna
Well,
tend to Gade for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Gade took some damage.
He's fine.
I mean, you say
No.
Does
that.
Gabe
He's-
eat berries?
Probably.
I don't see why not.
omnivorous.
Does Gabe want some?
Yeah, he'll eat whatever I give him.
I have 60 of them. It should be fine.
Okay. I need he needs
And they're four hit points each.
4
Yeah.
hit points. Yeah.
So Gade needs 5 of them.
Right. All right.
I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. that-
As everybody else is doing their thing.
It's 11 minutes.
10.
Okay.
10 plus 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
I'll never remember. You gotta remind me. Okay.
But yeah, while everybody else is doing their thing, I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic and look over the bodies, and then when we're ready as a group, we'll go down and check out the camp.
As I see him finish his detect magic, I will just blink my eyes to detect magic as well.
This guy.
He
That
just
was
gets to
easy.
do it. Yeah. So on these individuals themselves, you guys are looting the bodies. So,
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah, see if they have anything on him.
sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Somebody or somebody can help or
Jason.
roll separately or
Yeah.
Vendor.
Yeah, you guys
And we're
can help.
helping him.
I'll help. Yeah, I'll be helping Xander.
24.
no, not bad. No, it's not too bad.
You know.
I
Could be
didn't-
better.
Earlier I thought I had plus 11. I was disappointed to find I only had a plus 8.
Oh,
Yeah, it's your knowledge skills you have plus 11
Yeah.
because of the book.
okay. There are a bunch of rusty short swords, a bunch of slightly damaged and used round wooden shields. All of them have this interesting pendant around their neck with like a red gem that doesn't have any markings on it that you can see. But it's almost like this like 1 inch, almost like perfectly cylindrical red gem hanging from some kind of socket thing around a basic rope, not even a chain. All the hobgoblins, and the troll's not wearing one, but all the hobgoblins and the goblins, like as though this symbolizes some kind of clan that they're a part of. Razir would know that there are various like rogue, besides the chainless, which are a problem in and of themselves. There are like various rogue groups that are like 15, 20, like the largest one might be 100 somewhere, kind of make their homes throughout these places and waylay people. And you have seen this pendant before. The pendant itself isn't worth anything, but you know that this particular group hails from somewhere to the south of the mountain range, Hope's Range. So kind of like on the south end of Hope's Range.
Recognize that little doohickey right there. It's sort of a membership mark of a local bandit group.
Oh, all right.
They're not quite the chainless, but they a little bit of highway robbery. They'll raid caravans here and there.
Sure.
Well, I'm sure you've run into some groups like that. These guys, they come from just south of the mountains to the west, Hope's Range. Nothing big, but they're part of a group.
Tim.
Yeah.
Would in this world, would there be people who, like some kind of fighters guild thing, where they would pay for proof that you took out particular hostile groups?
Just like open bounties.
Yeah, open bounty kind of stuff.
Something like that would probably be available from Isla Narian, but pretty much nowhere else. If you take like a Walking Dead scenario where there's one big city that is actually more powerful and more sustainable and has a bigger army and force, they might care about little scraggling groups that are taking out, caravans and things like that. But for the most part, everybody else in the world is kind of like a free-for-all type situation, and not too many people care about that.
Yeah, that's fair. That, if maybe somebody was interested, you could collect a little cash, but that's not worth it. It's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, and I mean, Razir would know. So that there's like mercenary work. There are bounties put on people, like certain people, and maybe a particular rogue group or another has done some particularly bad things. And then if it was something near Ryver, like a small other settlement that was attacked and Ryver was protecting that settlement, then that rogue group that did that bad thing, there would be a mark on them specifically, but there's not just a general open bounty for all bandit camps.
Like contract and accept before you do the actual kind of thing.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Apart from that,
We can, real quick, we can bring them pendants with us just in case there's a bounty out for this group on the bridge, but more than likely it won't be.
Yeah.
Sure, let's pack them up. So
all
there's 5. There were 5. 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 4. There were 4.
5, 6. Many Q and reserters also.
Oh yes, so 6 total.
there's one underneath Razir.
And one
And-
underneath
and Xander as well.
Xander, yeah.
Yeah. So the troll was 1, and then so it's a 6 total. So you get 6 of those. Red.
I thought you said the troll didn't have.
You said he didn't. Yeah, so
No,
there's
the-
6 total.
Right, 6 total. Yep.
Alright.
So not including the troll. It looks like none of the goblins have any money on them, and it's like one of the goblins has 3 copper, almost like they forgot to. It got left in their pocket by accident for some reason.
These people probably don't have any use for money. Like, I bet they don't have an economy amongst their own.
They probably have a group credit card. Right?
trading.
Yeah, they got a company card.
Yeah.
Getting to the top of this
Check their
hole,
stash, though.
as you're looking around, you can see down there's a perfectly intact, very large rowboat that could probably comfortably fit like 12 people inside of it. And there's 2 sets of oars, but the oars look oversized. Obviously, the troll was the one who was kind of operating these, but they're like 20 feet long, and like they're really big. So you could
They're
operate
horse
them
for an actual ship.
pretty much. It's almost like it was cobbled together, and the oars don't match. That's another thing that you pick out immediately. There's like 2 of one and then 1 each of the others on the other side. So like one of you could sit and operate one of these oars like with some difficulty, but it would take like all 4 of you to operate the whole thing. But this thing could get moving pretty fast with the, what they are. They're very well made. There are a number of crates and boxes and things that are just kind of shoved underneath the seats. A couple of sacks that are kind of strewn around. Looks like the troll, when it was climbing up the ladder, like stepped on one of the crates absentmindedly and like cracked it open, and there's just a bunch of walnuts that are on the inside of it that are now strewn across inside the boat and making it, when you land at the bottom, inside of this. And it is kind of moored, but it's stuck up against in between 2 of the pillars underneath the bridge, kind of holding it in place. If it were dislodged, it would just get taken away down the river. I would ask for a secondary investigation check for the boat. I don't know who's getting down. If you guys are all jumping down there and
Well, I mean, if
getting in.
it fits
pretty
all
sure
of
we're-
us, I
yeah.
guess we would.
I wanted to go as a group. That was the intent.
Okay. All right. Then I will ask for a group investigation check then.
So all of us do one. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. That's a pretty strong one for me. These are all pretty good. Nice.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. As the last of you gets down and like hears the crunching sound on the walnuts as you hit the base of the boat that's down there, you hear at the top of appearing over the top of the hole and looking down. Guys?
I mean,
Right.
We didn't say it was safe for you to come forward yet.
Well, but you just left me on the bridge all by myself.
I mean, no, you're not by yourself. Isn't Gabe there? Your
Black
bestest
Star's
friend in
up
the
there.
whole world.
I assumed Black Star was coming down with you guys, but to do some investigating.
Black Star, stay here. You're being oddly silent.
No, Black Star needs to come because the chest might be locked.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah.
I'm no babysitter.
Inside check.
I can't. He's missing.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Okay. So Dreek is just up there, just kind of nervously, kind of shivering a little bit as the wind is kind of coming through at this point. As you're peering through these various crates and bags and opening them up, some of them have looked like somewhat old grain on the inside. There's one that actually has some partially rotten fruit, but there is some good ones at the top, like some apples and some other various fruits that are there. One of them is entirely filled with files that would be used for metal crafting. There's just all different shapes and sizes, and as you kind of pull them apart and like look, you're like, what the heck, an entire crate full of metal files? And you get down underneath and there's like a giant set of there's a clamp and like tongs like that are meant for someone much larger than you guys are. It's nondescript metalworking tools that are on the inside of this crate.
Do they look like old and used too?
They do. In fact, some of them are quite rusty and could use some cleaning. Who knows what the purpose? Like, why did they have this box of metal stuff in it?
It's for their nails. They're extra tough.
Xander, you do find a small, polished, oval box that opens with a hinge. It does have a lock on it, but the lock is undone and it's just kind of hanging off to the side. So you're able to kind of take it off and unlatch it and open it up. On the inside, there is a purple velvet lining with two inset situations or indents. That's what I was looking for. And there are two oval orange runic carved stones on the inside, just set into it. And they look very, very similar to the sending stones that you were given by Nicodon.
Yeah, don't forget we have detect magic up.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry. So as you guys were coming, you're right. You would have immediately headed right for the things that are magical.
Shiny.
Gotcha. Okay.
Shiny things.
Shiny things.
Ooh, shinies.
Yeah, I
see.
imagine everyone who can see magic is like, ooh, shiny things with it. And when Thrall gets down there, and she's all like, ooh, walnuts, and just starts picking
A room of protection. A ring of protection. Walnuts.
Which one is better?
Who's to say, really?
So
Yeah, depends on who you ask.
Looking at this isn't like organized in any way, shape, or form. Even the boxes themselves aren't like perfectly like Tetrised in underneath the benches that are there. It's just a haphazard bags and crates. But you guys both having Detect Magic up, you find that polished oval box first that has what looks like orange sending stones inside of it. Razir, you kind of point to Louise, who's kind of on the other side of the boat, that there's a bag at his feet. And Louise, you pick up this small satchel, and on the inside there is a regular healing potion, and also another larger, not strangely shaped, but it's like looks like a regular potion, but it's like twice the size of it. Like there's a large quantity in this. Hold on.
It's not a large size potion. It's an American size potion.
Wow.
The big gulp.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's not just large. That's an American large.
There's
That
this
is
French
troll
YouTuber who
sized.
went to the States way back, and he talked about like the drink sizes. He said, "Oh yeah, I ordered like a medium Coke at McDonald's. The drink was like this big, stuff like that. It was like, and guess what the large one was? A municipal pool."
So, looking at it, you can tell there's actually liquid on the inside, and it kind of bubbles a tiny bit as you're kind of swirling it around and looking at it. It is translucent, almost like there's water, but there is a singular, almost what looks like a piece of a bone on the inside of this. Just kind of, I know we just talked about things floating around inside of potions, which is hilarious before Eric got here, but there's like this curved, almost like a giant fingernail on the inside of this potion. So there's that. Threll. Yep. Okay. So you're kind of rooting around, and you and Xander arrive at the same point at the same time, and there is a very nice quiver that's kind of laid up against the side, and it has 4 arrows on the inside of it. Random weird number. It does look like it's meant for a regular humanoid person. The arrows are normal arrows, but on a side pouch, kind of like unclasps, and on the inside there's a little tiny pouch, and on the inside there are 6 silver beads on the inside of this tiny little pouch stuck in there. They look like they could be affixed to the head of an arrow. They have like a little slit on one side of them, like you'd like put on the arrowhead itself if you wanted to. They look a little
mercury poisoning,
a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger than a ball bearing. Actually, yeah,
Varying sizes.
golf ball size. We'll just go with that.
Okay, it's pretty big.
Yeah. Let's see. The final magical thing that kind of draws you. Nope, there's 2 other things. Razir, you find what looks to be a lockpick. It's glowing. It has a light green hue along the edge, and the part that you'd be grasping, like to work with the lockpicking tool portion of it, looks like it's actually got like a little leather wrapping, almost like a hilt for a weapon on it. So it's like professionally made. It does look pretty old, but it definitely gives off a magical aura to it. So, magical lockpick.
Ooh.
Xander, you open up. There's a little tiny like bead of magic that you see somewhere within one of the chests, and it's not locked. You open up the chest. On the inside, on the bottom, there are 2 sacks, one of which has a ton of money inside of it. By a ton of money, it's got some coins inside of it. The other one is a bag of gems, but the thing that catches your eye is underneath the top lid of this round-topped chest. When you open it up, there's like a flat portion of it where it should be curved, and you're like, that's weird. And I can see there's a little blip of magic, and you kind of fiddle with it for a second, and there's a little like sliding section that kind of opens up, and a ring falls out of it, dink, into your hand.
Okay.
It's hidden in a secret compartment within this chest. It looks almost like hammered lead with like little indents along the outside edge of it, and on the inside it has little bumps almost. It is magical, but there's no gems or writing or anything that's on it. It actually looks fairly mundane. And you kind of like look at it for a second, and you swear that you hear the sound of a wave crashing off in the distance as you're just kind of looking at it slightly.
Okay.
it's probably just the river that's flowing beneath our feet.
Could be.
I thought you were gonna say a voice or something. I was like, oh, cursed item, I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's use magic item.
Tim,
You're a warlock, Zender.
was it the ball bearings that were showing magical, or was it like the quiver?
The ball bearings.
The ball bearings themselves, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Make sure I get that clear.
So you're not sure what they do yet?
I don't know.
But
I wish wizard multi-classes were viable.
Right?
I mean, they can be.
so inside of one of these sacks that was in the chest that you found this ring inside of, just for the sake of brevity on this, the coin purse has 13 platinum coins,
Okay.
14 gold, and 26 copper.
Okay.
13 platinum, 14 gold.
It's 13 platinum, 14
Yep.
gold, 26 copper. The other sack, you can just call it a bag of gems worth 300 gold.
Okay.
Assorted gems.
It was
Not
13
diamonds.
platinum, 14 gold.
Not diamonds.
Not diamonds.
Doesn't
I think-
matter.
I think
None of us
Felix-
had Revivify.
Yeah,
and then
you
Felix
got
is
it.
keeping track of stuff.
Ask
Yeah.
Felix how much the rest is. Okay. And then the gems is worth 300.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
the extent of the shinies that you find on this boat.
Okay.
There are a good number of other tools and cloaks and some clothing. There's like a rusty piece of armor that looks like it's been caved in, like somebody like took it off of someone who got their chest caved in. There's a lot of weird random junk.
I'm gonna use my Jarvis glasses on the ring.
Sure.
Okay, this gives you
Identify it right
this is
Once
once
a
per
day,
once per day.
yeah.
Okay,
Or once
Um,
for long rest.
once per long rest.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we want this in Discord.
Yeah.
I did not have Discord open.
Yes. What?
Who do I have to talk to on Discord? Yeah,
The group
that's
chat.
Oh wow, that's pretty neat.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That totally should go to me. I'm gonna need that for when we go swimming.
This guy can't breathe.
can't breathe. Not he doesn't need to breathe. He just can't breathe.
I'm not good at the lungs thing. It's out of my wheelhouse.
I mean, being able to breathe is overrated anyway.
All right.
Your lungs are out of your wheelhouse.
Cool.
Out of his chest.
They are.
Not
Yes,
wheelhouse.
they are. That's what I call my chest area. This is my wheelhouse.
No lungs in here. Okay. So you guys, you have this boat at your disposal, or you can try and scrounge around if there's anything specific you might be looking for in this boat of use that you like. There's like a mostly broken lantern.
You said there was some cloaks and like stuff. I'll any like traveler's gear. If it's not too much, I'll take it. Like some cloaks. If there's a couple extra sets of decent boots or clothing, I'll just take that stuff and
I'd say
probably resell it for a bit.
there's you start like there's a couple boots in like of varying sizes, not sets of boots that are kind of like in this one box, and you kind of start going through them and you pull out a couple, you're like, that makes sense. Oh, okay, that actually goes with that one. All right, it takes you a few minutes to go through them. At the bottom there's a boot with a foot inside of it. Mostly rotted, liquefied inside the boot. There's flies buzzing around.
Don't take that boot.
Yeah, I'm
So you
not
find
gonna.
2 sets of boots, 3 salvageable cloaks that probably you could sell. They're kind of smelly, like they maybe could be washed.
Good thing we're next to a river.
Anybody want a set of silverware that's only has 1 fork and 3
washing
knives,
episode.
2 spoons?
Laundry day episode. I'm sorry. You said 1 fork, 3 knives, and 2 spoons.
Yes.
Dude, that's enough to play the spoons. Dude, that's totally Razir. Razir needs to learn how to play the spoons.
No, I play the harmonica already. It's fine.
Well, you better start learning how to play the spoons.
No, we got a washboard, and we can really get a band going.
Yeah.
Bluegrass band.
Called Throw on the Boys.
Yeah, we don't even have to change our name. It's perfect.
We end every session with like a musical arrangement, like it's a Phineas and Ferb episode.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god.
Yes.
Mhm.
That
Yes.
sounds good to me.
Yes.
Is
And,
it possible to compile some of these random tools together into like a woodcarver's kit?
This guy.
A woodcarver's kit. What comes in a woodcarver's kit?
Xanathar is our
hammers,
friend.
Planers,
Handsaws,
Dowels,
a planer
probably.
maybe, some chisels.
Planer.
yeah, chisels,
Planer.
Planer.
Yes.
planes things. Probably some, sheets of sandpaper.
All right. While this is happening, I'm just
the
gonna
kid'll
grab
just-
a drink.
Okay.
The kid will just say the tools needed for wood carving.
Yeah, but if you're going, since
Sometimes-
Xanathar, I believe,
Xanathars.
it actually says what's in it.
Xanathars. Cool efficiencies. Are you in here? Descriptions.
All right. What do we think a lemon white claw will taste like?
Lemon White Claw.
Lemon, hopefully.
It'll taste like lemon
knife?
and barely volume or
a-
barely flavor.
A knife, a gouge. Is that what that's?
Yeah.
And a small saw. Absolutely. You could cobble together a woodcarver's tool set. Sure.
Oh, that's not
That's
bad.
what's here. What does it taste like?
Oh, I can make arrows with it.
Like-
How about that?
Like lemon.
What's a gouge?
It is a chisel with a concave blade.
Oh, those things.
Yeah.
Making little
Yeah.
channels
Yeah.
and stuff.
You know, like gouge your eyes
Yep.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's for gouging.
Yep.
Gouge. Gouging. That's
Gooch.
funny. Gouge. Yeah. Go ahead and take your woodcarver's tools. That's
Alright,
fine.
Cool. Save me a couple bucks.
And is Zender going to spend more time trying to identify the rest of the stuff, or are we just leaving that for later?
I forget. Does it have to be during a long rest that we can identify spent
It's
with
a
magic
short
tools?
rest,
Or
I
could we
believe.
You just spend an hour.
Or a
with
short
Adam.
rest, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an hour with it. So we could do that while we travel, although you guys are going to be on foot now.
Say if you spend an hour walking very, very casually and not at a brisk pace, I could consider that a short rest. Just a nice stroll
do that.
along the rest of this bridge, if you wish to.
Well, I mean, based on how long it took us to get through this bridge to this halfway point, I think it's going to take us more than an hour to get through the rest of the bridge.
Probably be.
It's a big bridge.
Yep. Okay. What are you guys doing?
Yes. Short rest while we walk. Try and figure out what the stuff we found
Okay,
is.
so we've looked through this boat. I want to go back up and dump the bodies into the river, so they're not just corpses lying on the bridge.
Probably.
For the most part, that's easily done, except for the troll.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the troll is already
He was
close
stuck in
to
the
a hole.
Probably just have to like
Yeah,
him
just-
down.
That's true.
push him the rest of the
actually.
way and just kick
Yeah,
him in.
Just
Yeah,
eventually.
pull out Looney Tunes style Looney Tunes style giant
Someone
plunger.
goes over and just jumps on it to try and push it down.
Oh, I'd like to this little trap doohickey that they have put here. I want to see if it can possibly disable the mechanics of it so it doesn't like turn anymore.
Okay.
And by that, to make it easy, I will just sunder the whole thing constantly with my adamantine axe.
Okay. I was gonna have you roll to see what the easiest way to disable this would be, but
Smash
it
it.
sounds like you're just going to smash it. So you just go over and start getting to work, and you spend the better part of 2 minutes just banging on this thing in all different areas, and pieces of it are falling off and splashing into the water and going under the bridge and further on down the river.
There you go.
And yeah, at a certain point, it's all bent and crumpled. Part of it like falls off, and like half of it's hanging down, and like it's actually like this metal like cage that was kind of like bolted into the side. It's kind of an elaborate setup for some relatively unintelligent enemies that were here. You're not quite sure
Kinda weird.
why that's the case.
Hobgoblins.
Yeah, they would be a little more intelligent. Yeah, but yeah, you've successfully sundered the device on both sides.
Hobgoblins are very
No
intelligent.
one else can mess with that. I don't know. Can we do something about this hole?
Yeah, I was going to say. There's already like a wall, like mostly around it, right?
Yeah, I'm at the other hole.
It's like
Yeah,
a
so-
like a 3-2.
Do I?
Oh, that one. Right.
So I know that this whole situation, I didn't remember, but like, were the holes there before on this bridge? Like, is that like a
Yeah, they've
issue
always
that
been
just
there.
hasn't been fixed?
No.
Has the wall been there too?
There's so like I
Like
described
it was
as
a
you were
rudimentary
traveling.
attempt to block it off.
Yeah, to make it more safe, almost like a railing. It's not like a full wall. It's like maybe 2 to 3
Yeah,
feet
just-
tall.
Just so it's not a hole.
Right.
Yeah. Little half wall thing.
Hold on, yeah.
And you've encountered these,
Yeah.
as you've been going along.
Yeah, I'll just. Yeah, these are no different from any of the other holes we've seen.
Right.
People get to them sometimes they don't.
All right.
It's just
Traffic
part of this
cones
bridge.
around it, you know.
Then
That's kind of what them rocks are.
Then I guess we should just start heading to
all right.
Ryver.
I think the final thing here is y'all's horses. They're dead and gone.
Yep.
Horse meat ain't too bad as far as rations go. That's up to y'all if you need that or not. But leaving these carcasses here on the bridge just gonna invite pests and potentially monsters to it.
Yeah.
So they should, if you're not gonna use it, over the edge as well. Just make sure you get all your saddlebags and whatnot. The saddles, if you can carry them, are worth some money as well.
I mean, we have the hole. We could just put them in.
Yeah, you can put them on your 2 horses. Whatever you plan.
Right.
Yeah. So
The hole. I forgot about the hole. They can go in the
Yeah.
hole.
The saddles.
Have
You pull
to-
the saddles off
yeah.
the horses. Okay.
We had 3 horses, right? Blackstar
Yeah.
had one. The boys were sharing one.
so
No, they each
that's
had one at this point.
3 riding saddles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We each had one. Yeah.
Everybody had their own at this point.
Yep.
Because there's Gade and Sparrow. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you take your saddles, put them in the hole, get yourselves. Do you take the horses and throw them into the river as well?
At least that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, if nobody's going to take any horse meat or rations or anything, then
Bad luck to eat a riding horse.
fair.
We'll leave one to Gade. He can fuel up.
No, it's good. No,
Freckles,
he's-
you and your troop, you got any word you say when you lose a beast of burden?
Typically that's really reserved for the rider.
All right.
It happens on occasion, more frequently than losing like the rider itself. But no, we didn't spend too long on funeral stuff. Gotta keep.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. Let's
Over they go.
throw him in the river. Yeah.
On the downstream side.
They get
sense.
stuck on the
On the
pillar.
boat.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
Okay, yeah. So you take him and throw him over. I'd say that all this endeavor with Xander casting detect magic, the going through the boat, deciding what you're going to do with these various items, and kind of looking through all the rest of what's here, scavenging the bodies, tossing the bodies over, putting the troll down the hole, having all these conversations. I'm going to put this entire thing at about an hour. This whole scenario. I feel like that's
Yeah,
fair.
that's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So you're now probably at like a 1:30 in the afternoon at this point, having traveled the morning, and this being about the halfway point. Dreek, the boy, continues to stand there, just silent as he was told to, as you guys start to make your way down the bridge. Are you saying anything to him, or
Nope.
you're just taking off?
When we're finally done, it's
Well,
all right. All's well. Time to go.
Okay.
You and your pony didn't get hit or nothing, right?
No,
y'all are fine.
we were far enough away.
Good job.
Is anybody hungry? I had some rations left over. I took like a loaf of bread, and I have like a little bit of meat left, and I made just these really small sandwiches.
I mean, you should keep those for yourself, just in case.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy them as you will. You brought them. You enjoy them. Thanks for sharing, offering to. But we got our own way of traveling and handling
Right.
food.
That's this one. I put like a T on this for Thrall, but it's fine.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Terrell's pretty full right now. She ate a bunch of chestnuts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Still doing it. And I just smack another one of the walnuts.
Oh.
Against
So did Thrall
With the
collect?
hammer.
yeah,
This
I
is like a
bunch of
very-
walnuts.
This is like a cinema moment where it's like, I still am, and then they zoom in on the walnut breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Very-
that hard part of the saddle, like the handle, it's like right there in the center. I just put a walnut against it and just hit it with the pommel of the hand axe to break it open.
Nice.
I'm just eating walnuts as we go and throwing the
I
shells.
thought you were gonna be using the Onyx Breaker hammer.
Oh, that's so much more good. Yeah, that makes way more sense to you.
That's
It's a hammer.
that's such rich person behavior. using like
A
the
magical
magical
artifact.
item, the magical
Yeah.
artifact to break open a walnut. It's like wiping your butt with $100 bills.
Hey,
Some
they use the sword of Kalis to hunt down a little rat thing, okay? Everything's just a tool. Doesn't matter about its status.
Interesting point of note, just to make sure there's a clarification. The Onyx Digger, I believe, is it's the Onyx Breaker is the name of the
Onyx
hammer you
something.
have. It doesn't have the same effect as it did on the Onyx when you chose to use it that way. It's not like you tap it and it immediately just disintegrates the shell around the walnut. It acts
it's
like
a
a regular
hammer
Yeah,
to everything
Yeah.
else.
right.
Yeah.
So you can still use it
I
to
think-
crack the
I think
walnuts
that's-
open, but
that's
it's,
part of the beauty. This like totally broken hammer, and you're just like, people are like, whoa, what is that? And you're like, a walnut smasher.
Nutcracker.
Eh.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna rename it
Yeah.
Walnut Breaker.
Yep.
We come across the onyx crystals again, like, guys, what do we do? I only have a walnut breaker. I don't have anything for this.
Darn it! Why couldn't it have been made of walnuts?
Eh.
Anyways.
across a magic walnut crystal cave will be good.
Yep. Don't tempt me. It'll be the best. Okay, so you guys make your way southwest along the bridge. Do you take the first hour of this to? I say ride, but most of you are. I don't know if everybody's on foot at this point, except for Gade or Thrall on Gade. Do you take the first hour of this to identify some stuff here? Or, yeah. So you're not
Yeah.
moving at a quick pace. It's just a very casual stroll for this first hour.
Catch our breath after doing all that work and get some movement in at least instead of sitting still for the rest. So I've got the lockpick. We've got
I'll
we got
check
a
the stones.
big potion,
Uh,
stone.
Don't we already know they're sending stones?
Yeah, well, he said they look like sending stones. I'm just
They look
making
like
sure.
sending stones.
I'm just,
Yeah.
you know,
Guess
Might
I'll
as well.
take the oversized potion.
That Thrall's got the arrowhead tip
Yeah, I'm guessing.
ball,
Yeah, she's taking
ball bearings.
Yeah.
And then also-
Was that it?
There's the oversized tools. And yeah, that's it. Because oversized tools, no one's doing that. Stones. Zender is. I'm doing the potion. Trill's doing the beads. You're doing the lock. Yeah, so that.
Tools weren't
The
magic.
oversized tools were
They
not
weren't
magical.
magic. Oh,
No.
all right.
They were just big,
Just
big troll sized.
Did we take them with us?
No.
No. All right. I mean, we have space in the hold. That's why I was.
I would have
asking.
taken a file
A file, yeah.
A metal file.
just to have one.
Okay, so don't forget to
Yeah.
add metal file to the.
Part of those files probably could also work on wood. It's it's in the kit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So is lockpick the potion, and that's it? Or no, the little.
I mean, they're sending
round things
stones,
that
right?
Thrall. You can safely assume they're sending
Okay.
stones.
Yeah,
So,
they work
So yeah,
set.
lockpick, big potion, arrow tip, balls. Are
Okay.
the three things.
Balls.
Thrall.
Balls.
These are 6 beads of force.
Those are fun.
These particular ones can be attached automatically without any need for tinkering of any kind to the end of your arrow.
Is that a do it before battle kind of thing, or is that like a during battle while drawing an arrow you can do
No,
it
you'd
kind of
have
thing,
to
or
you have to put them on before you go. Yeah.
prep
So
them?
so you could just you could take 6 of your arrows and just put them on there right now and have it ready. Or you could save them and use them. You can throw them because I don't know if you read the description, but they're
I'm getting there.
designed to be thrown.
What if I put one of the beads on one of the bullets?
Well,
those fire bullets. And just kind of put a bead on it. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna blow my gun. I'm not doing that.
you can certainly try.
Would
No,
it even
they're-
make it out of the barrel?
I don't think it would make it into the barrel. They're golf
No.
ball
Yeah,
size.
No,
the gold ball.
You
I
can
would
just
have to
glue it to the end of the gun. Shoot it. Nothing
I would
bad
have
could
to
possibly happen.
I just have to make a new gun. Figure it out.
So Louise is spending time with the potion. It is
Yep.
a potion of storm giant strength.
Ooh.
Holy moly!
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
Wow, they just had that hiding on their boat. They were like, guys, we can use this, and then just
That is-
never used it.
That is a legendary level item.
Yeah, no, but
Money.
I mean, Tim
Right?
hates giving us things. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
I feel like all I do is give you things, actually.
Do you?
Yeah, no,
know?
you say you don't want to give us money, and then you shower us with platinum.
Let's see.
That is
Oh, this is interesting.
It is
bead
it is your
is,
quote unquote first legendary item of this campaign. Yes, it is a legendary item at level 6.
achievement unlocked.
So
Achievement unlocked.
the bead. Makes
So we're
a
selling that,
nice
right, to get
explosion.
tens of thousands of gold.
Why?
Fine.
It's legendary.
Strength. Who needs strength 29 for an hour? What do we need that for?
Have
It'd
fun
be
finding
fun.
you could make an entire quest out of traveling back in the other
Finding a
direction to find a buyer because you're not going to find it south.
We can go to the caldera.
You probably won't even find
Oh,
it north.
that's true.
Isn't
That's
there,
true.
yeah.
You can go to the
what's-
cartel.
I was gonna say there's there's the Shady City, but there's the other one.
Hi, Alice. Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
guys,
tell me.
I do not have enough money, guys. We need more money.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, did you? By the way, did you just pocket that 13 platinum that you found?
Oh
I
no.
put it in the hole.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay,
I
group
was
fund.
Party
gonna
fund.
put it in the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's party
Okay.
fund.
It's just ooh, 13 platinum.
Don't forget the 26 copper.
26 copper.
Okay.
Also, if you did pocket it, that's fine.
No,
That's
Xander
that's okay.
Xander wouldn't pocket it. He the only reason he pocketed the 100 platinum was because it was given to him
It was
explicitly.
his thing specific, yeah.
Okay. So if Razir was focusing on the lockpick, it is in Discord.
It's
Locksmith's Bane.
Oh, dude, this is crazy.
Oh,
And I can't even use it to save the item? Aw, you cheeky dog. You cheeky dog. Unbelievable.
It's pretty nice.
yeah. Now the question is, do I hold on to that, or do we give that to our locksmith?
I think we both know the answer to that.
Yeah.
You keep it.
So we could have 2 people that can do lockpicking.
Well, do you have
things.
proficiency with thieves' tools?
Thieves'
Or
tool.
No, I don't.
okay, but I mean that basically
Don't need
gives
it?
you. No, you
I
don't.
mean,
Oh, right. It just you don't need.
I mean, you could spend the downtime you should have in Ryver learning to use lockpicks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Is anybody? Let's see. Was there an attunable? Yeah. Does anybody spend any time or attuning to the ring? Who's taking the ring?
I mean,
You found it.
we don't really need it.
Okay.
I mean, we just keep it for now. Like someone can attune and just we'll pass it around if we need to. But
Yeah.
All right.
I just didn't know if because there was one. Was it Xander was the only person not doing something during that hour? So I wasn't sure.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, why not? I'll attune to it for now.
In case you fall
Just
into the
realized
water.
something. We should be careful with the sending stones because we don't know if they're connected to like a third one or something like that.
Yeah.
They could be. They were inset inlaid velvet purple stuff inside of this old case
Were there
all by
2
themselves.
spots?
2 of them. There's 2 slots.
Just
Yeah.
the 2 spots.
So
All right, well,
You
we've
don't
got
know.
them if we need them.
Yep.
But
Yes.
they're around.
okay. So an hour goes by. You guys now know what these things do. Continue traveling on your way. Xander. There's an itch on your hand. Kind of like look down, or you kind of like absentmindedly, you're just kind of enjoying your time and kind of like scratching at your hand a little bit. A little bit later, doing it again, and kind of like, man, what is that? Oh, that's where the ring is. It's weird, right? Look at his hands over his face.
Oh boy.
You're like
It happened anyways.
adjust it a tiny bit, like just to kind of scratch around the ring. You're like, man, that's what the heck? Like, was this thing like, am I allergic to this thing? And you go to like pull it off, it doesn't come off. Only you know this currently.
Guys.
You don't feel any different except for just a little itchy, just a light itch around the ring.
Oh, that's going to drive him insane. Like, just actually insane. He's going to become a mad wizard because he has an itchy finger.
That's reasonable. I'd probably do that too.
This
And
is
the
the
itch-
origin story for the Dungeon of the
and
Mad
the-
Mage.
And the itch isn't like ever persistent, like you need to scratch your finger off to, whatever. It's just like every few minutes it's like, oh, itch. Okay. Oh, man. Just keep
Ow.
that's it. For now.
For now.
Great.
For now. Oh, escalating itch.
Okay. So travel on for the are you gonna say anything to anyone, or you're just gonna
I mean, guys, I can't take the ring off.
How did you get it done, Dad?
Why not? Is it like too tight now?
No, it's like stuck.
His
It's kind
Finger
of.
spit on it a little bit.
his
It's got-
fingers swelled up
ew,
from all
is-
the
Is that
humidity.
is that how? Do you actually? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, you got a little bit of
Yeah.
something to smooth it out,
WD-40.
lubricate it.
Yeah, you could use a little oil.
Oh,
You know, just kinda
anybody
get it
got
on
any
there.
butter on them?
Oh.
Butter I've heard works.
I've got meat
This-
grease.
Yeah, that works.
That might work.
Yeah, it's
this
called
feels comical.
lubrication.
I don't like the way you said that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Lubrication looks over at Threll.
I didn't say look
Oh
over a Thrall.
shit! Oh,
What?
I'm sorry.
What?
I just spilled my White Claw all over my fucking.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
no.
He's falling apart. He's falling apart.
I
curse made
just
him do it.
realized. Yes, it's the curse. Yeah. Who
It's
was
the
taking
curse.
the healing potion?
Oh, right. There was
Oh,
a
right.
regular healing potion.
Let's see.
I already have one. Is that Oblivion music?
Maybe? No. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's the Oblivion soundtrack.
Could be. I have music on here from Skyrim. So
I remember you had music from Vivek from Morrowind. Does Blackstar have one? Could give it to him.
I don't have one on me currently either.
You don't. All right, you don't. Blackstar doesn't seem to have one.
Nope. Blackstar has.
He does.
Oh, never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, am I the only one who has one? Is that-
He has like nothing, but it's the description of the thing. Anyways,
You extra.
we're low on healing potions. I think you might be the only one who has one.
All right, so one of you should take it then. I mean, I don't really need mine either. So
Let's put one on the wizard. I think that's a good idea. Give it to Sander.
as soon as he puts his headset back on.
All right. Well,
take-
Oh no, he's
gonna
got
happen.
one.
he's got.
Oh.
Got one.
All right.
Sorry.
It's all right.
So the boys have one. Blackstar do.
A couple years ago during Ring of Valor, or maybe, no, it definitely was during Ring of Valor because it was definitely Eric that was there, and I spelled mead all over my keyboard.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Lived with that thing for 2 years.
it was bad. Sticky
Sticky.
keyboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I missed my keyboard. It was on. It was on the, like my my mouse pad. But
Oh, okay.
I missed the keyboard. Thankfully.
Just on the desk. Thrall should have the potion. I think you're up there smacking people sometimes, and I can do my temporary HP thing.
Potion of which
Healing.
one?
Just potion of healing.
Regular.
Yeah.
Regular
And
one.
like I said, I don't really need the one I have right now. So if one of you guys wants it,
I'll take it. That
Alright.
way, everybody has a way to heal on them.
Does Blackstar have one?
No, but he can do cure wounds.
Okay. Gotcha. Travel on down the bridge now that you've gone past this hour of casual walking to more of a brisk pace. You're not running, but you're ready to be done with this bridge by this point. You've been traveling an entire day on just stone bridge with the sound of water. You probably stopped for lunch at some point and partially enjoyed your, the river that's there, but you're like, I'm ready to get back to some semblance of grass. Especially Thrall, I'm sure, is like, nah, I'm good with this.
It's like so humid on this bridge. It's ridiculous.
So it's true, actually.
Misty,
Very
wet,
misty.
Just constant.
You
This
just feel
is
damp
a
the whole time.
This is a freshwater river that comes down from the mountain, right?
Correct.
At least it's not salt.
Okay. Yeah, it's not ocean mist kind of thing. It's
That's
but
the
it is like there's water in the air.
The entire day's
And,
travel isn't like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., but like you're, from the just after breakfast until all the way through to about 4 o'clock. And as you're getting to the edge of this, you finally see the end. And you can see off to the right-hand side, past the edge of the bridge, that there is a forest that makes up the forest on the south side of Hope's Range, which I believe is actually the next hex.
So this is less of a river and more of a flowing lake. With how wide this thing is.
Yeah. I mean, you see that it doesn't actually take up the entirety of the hex that's there, so it probably, in total, with breaks and everything, probably took about 5 hours to actually get across the entire thing.
Because
That's
we gotta do
absolutely
half of it-
massive.
like half of it walking too.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but yes, it is absolutely massive. Yep. Yeah. Anyways, so you get to the end of this, and it basically comes out into almost like a forest in front of you. There's maybe a couple 100 feet before you see the edge of this off to the right-hand side, and then just rolling flatlands that occasionally level out in certain parts that you can see. The sun has begun to go down at this point, and it's starting to get a bit darker. Probably look around for a place to stop, because you have about, we'll say, a half day's journey, unless you want to push on into the night to get there.
Would there be like a local area at the end of the bridge that people would often use as a resting point before they traverse the bridge? Like this is the last spot before the bridge where people do their little camp here before they spend the next day on the bridge kind of thing?
I would say that you probably know of a campsite that's maybe a little ways into the woods, but people don't just set up camp and set up a fire and sleep anywhere near where somebody else may be traversing. Even like on any main roads that you know of, nobody camps on the road.
Okay.
So I'd say
Gotcha.
probably a ways off in the forest there would be a spot
Okay.
to set up camp.
Right. It wouldn't be a... Yeah, never mind. Then, yeah.
Okay. So you guys,
Right. So if we continue on for the rest of the afternoon, finish our day of walking, we might get past the woods, and but then we'd be out in the flatlands, slightly hilly flatlands. Up to y'all if you want to push through, or just kind of go into the woods a bit and camp out away from the open area. I've done both, but that was on my own.
I feel like
Let's actually, now that I've said it, let's go into the woods a little bit, see if we can get some game,
yeah.
and have some more stuff to bring into town.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
so you're off the bridge immediately. What do you tell Dreek to do? Just kind of hang behind and stay out of the way.
I'll
kind
hang
of
out
thing?
with him. I'm no good. I'm
You
no
stick
good out
with
there.
us. We'll go in as a group, find a spot to make our camp, and then probably myself and Threll, having our mounts still, will ride around a bit, try and find some stuff to hunt and take down.
Okay. So I'll ask for a preliminary survival check just to find a good camping spot that seems comfortable.
It'll be,
I can't hear you, Donnie.
it'll
I'm
be
pretty good.
Louise, right?
Survival. Yes, Louise has like one more than me. So like,
Yeah.
I'll give him
Either
help.
way.
So I'm doing a survival check. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
Finding a camping
And
spot.
Trell is
thing.
helping me, right?
Yeah, I'll give
Yep.
you the help. You know how to camp. You know what we're doing.
22. Okay. You start kind of picking your way through the trees, and it's not very dense at first, but you kind of get to purposefully a spot where it is more dense, so you can kind of maybe hide a fire that you want to set up some kind of comfortable arrangement. You travel for just a few minutes into the forest, past where the bridge is. The bridge is now out of sight and behind you. And you see a light in the woods, a campfire, kind of flickering. You're probably maybe get 250 feet off. You can't really quite see if there's somebody at the campfire, but this is Louise as you're kind of like picking your way through and moving aside bushes and branches. The sun having started to go down, and the fact that there's a pretty thick tree canopy makes it quite a bit darker inside the forest here. You can kind of hear the sound of crunching leaves and snapping twigs as everybody's kind of slowly making their way through the underbrush, but there's definitely a fire ahead. And you can hear now, especially with your passive perception, the sound of something scraping against wood, and a man just kind of like lightly cursing under his breath in frustration at something, which is the constant sound of shk, shk, shk. It's the sound.
Sounds like he's playing it.
More than some.
So, do we try and go see what he's doing, or do we leave him alone and do our
I
own stuff?
mean, I can always just send Java over there, take a quick look.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll send out Java to get a little closer.
You gonna fall asleep on us, Jason, tonight?
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're good? Okay. So, kind of put a hand on Louise's shoulder and go into Java's eyes, and Java... Go ahead and make a stealth check for Java for me.
Okay, so there's gonna be D20 plus 3. 18.
Nice. Okay. There's a moment where Java kind of loses their footing a tiny bit on like a wet leaf and kind of slides downwards and catches on the edge of like a arched root and kind of like slows down for a second, finds the proper footing, and then almost like a Disney movie, kind of weird acrobatic types thing, and then slides down the rest of the way and around kind of a fallen tree, kind of gets up over the edge where a bit of moss and some vines have kind of grown down and around the side of it, and just kind of peeking over, sees a mostly balding man in his 30s. Hold on. Loading screen. Yep. Okay. Mostly balding man in his 30s, has like a scraggly brownish beard, is wearing basic leather armor, and where there once was it looks like a pauldron was attached, it seems to have been like maybe torn away. There's like some kind of gash in the shoulder, and there like across his face is all like bloodied up, and on his hands and across the front of his armor, and he has like a wooden stake or stick in one hand and a handmade knife in the other, and is like currently carving the tip of this piece of wood into like a spear essentially, and only just has the knife on him that you can see. He's just muttering under his breath as the fire kind of crackles, and like a small rodent that's been caught is kind of sizzling over the fire that he's constructed some kind of very, very simple mechanism that's allowing the rodent to spin on the spit over it just by like pumping his foot on this device. He looks pretty worse for wear.
Observant transfer? Like if I'm looking through the eyes of Java, do I still get observant?
I would say so, yeah. I think we
So
went
then
over
can
this.
I read his lips? Can I see what he's saying, or
You're if you wanted to go around to the other side of him, he's kind of like you're from like the back left of
Sure.
him perspective.
Sure.
So do you want to pick your way around? And doesn't look like he's talking to anyone.
He's just talking to himself.
He's just kind of like muttering like
Okay.
like angrily carving at this wood.
Gosh dang vampires ambushing me in the
looking at
woods.
the,
The rest of snakes.
Yeah.
Stab me in the heart.
Yeah, looking at the rest of the camp, does it look like he set this up himself, or could there be more people?
This looks like it was like an established campsite, probably one of the ones that Razir would know of exists in the woods that was being spoken about, and he just happened to find it, and he just relit the fire and created this spit situation himself from some twine and some wood that he found. But he's just got his armor. There's no helmet, and just his like a piece of flint with like wrapping around like this handle that he's made that he's carving off this wooden stake with.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just communicate to the group. He looks pretty worse for wear. He's nothing special. It doesn't look like seems alone. I mean, maybe it's just better off not bothering him. And I'll bring Java back and come back.
Okay.
All right. Fair enough. We should move on then. This is a known spot that some travelers camp at. It's off the road and pretty well hidden. But we can go find another spot to camp out for the night and let that man have his peace.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a well-known spot, he most likely knew about it and just decided to rest there, so shouldn't bother him.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
So carrying on that survival check, you eventually find a spot a decent ways away, kind of making sure that you're playing it safe a little bit because you don't know who this individual is, but to the point where you know in the general vicinity of where that fire is, but you can set your own up knowing that it can't be seen from that distance. So I'd ask for another survival check with advantage or otherwise separate rolls for those who to be able to catch some game that you mentioned wanting to.
Oh yeah, do a little bit of.
Oh, I do want to point out, because this has not ever ended or stopped this entire time, the woodland creatures followed you all the way across the bridge and into the woods.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
I
you've
thought
got-
that
you've
was
got-
a one-day thing.
Nope.
Yeah. So
No, they've been with
Oh.
you the entire time from when you woke up from breakfast before you got onto the bridge all the way across. They stayed a ways back during the battle, but they are still with you. You've got deer, there's a skunk, there's badgers,
They're
voles,
offering
foxes,
themselves.
and
Oh,
and
well,
they're all
they
like
suffer.
Woodland
expectantly.
creatures to hunt.
Yeah, so they're all expectantly just kind of like hanging out, and some of them almost like have a hint of a smile and just kind of like panting a little bit and wagging their tails a little bit and hanging out.
No, you guys can't kill anything in front of
We
them.
should
This
go hunting.
Not in front of them. They're going to kill one of them.
No. It's weird now.
I mean, before we actually like while we're setting up, I'll cast speak with animals and ask them why they're following us.
Okay. This one of the looks like an elderly deer, kind of like comes up and has some antlers and has a graying, like a little bit of a tuft of a beard, just kind of enjoying the grass around and eating at a few things. And you come up and ask it, well, we're the creatures of the forest, and we were asked by someone to follow you on your journeys until you no longer had need of us.
It's not the first time we've been followed by a group of animals.
It's weird it keeps happening, you know?
Yeah.
When was
if I had a
when
nickel
was the
for
first
every
time?
time, if I had a nickel for every time I was followed by woodland creatures, I would have 2 nickels.
Oh,
It's
you,
not much,
a lot.
but it's weird that it
It's
happened
weird
more
that it
than once.
happened twice.
are you referring to the crows, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We
And I
can provide you with aid, whether it be to distract your foes or to help you to find or locate something, as we have the means of stretching out throughout the network of the various forests and flatlands to find things of interest for whoever you are. You need only ask.
Man, we should have sent like some of these animals forward into the goblin trap and saved our horses.
That's a bit much.
That would have been messed up.
Just a bunch of dead animals on the thing.
Let's send that squirrel, cute squirrel over there to die. Let's go.
Can you ride deer? Too
It's
small,
pretty
right?
small, yeah.
Depends on how big of a deer it is. If we're talking
It's a
like
moose, you could.
moose-sized deer,
Yeah,
Then
these are,
you
carry
could, but a
whatever
deer
too
you
small.
couldn't.
You can put a tank
There's also,
on
like-
top of a moose.
yeah, or two,
Or 2.
two chunks.
Yeah,
these are
Some elk and stuff are big, but these are like white-tailed size. Like a kid could ride on it, but an adult would make it struggle to stand up.
Yeah, like we could put Dreek on it.
He already got a.
He already has his bony.
Dreek and Buttercup, just both of them, just plop on top of a deer.
God, sorry.
have you need of our assistance?
I mean, pretty sure we're good.
But, Luis, are you talking to them?
Well, no, I'm just talking to myself.
Uh,
Of course I'm talking to
all
the
right.
deer.
Oh, you are? How
Yeah.
are you doing that? Is that a spell?
Yes. Well, kinda.
Ask them if they'll get offended if they go hunt.
You know what? That's actually. Hey, would it be fine with you if we were to go hunt other animals? Not you, of course.
Well,
You guys are the good ones.
the small child you have with you already took one of our kind. Part of our purpose is to provide you with your whatever it is you need of us. So if it is easier for you, we would gladly sacrifice ourselves so that you can be sustained. If you wish to hunt,
That's where he made the sandwiches from.
This is awful.
The roast rabbit sandwich.
This. The onus is on us. It's awful.
whatever you need, just say the word.
I mean, I was gonna say, eating something that's able to talk to me is kind of weird, but then again, I'm able to talk to most animals.
Yeah, you're just gonna become a vegetarian at this point.
No, I don't want
I love character development.
to. Character development, just become vegetarian. Wait, I just realized. Could I talk to Gade?
Is there like an intelligence requirement?
I
No.
think there is.
No.
Is there?
Oh, it's actually
No.
pretty smart.
No, because like squirrels have an intelligence of 1.
Yeah,
Talk to a squirrel.
that's fair.
Also,
They
just
it's
share
bad.
Oh,
like
it says their knowledge and awareness is
No.
limited by their intelligence.
I don't know how this works.
So I mean,
Yeah,
deer
like, you-
probably have an intelligence of 2 or something, and
I mean,
if that.
Like the fact that he's having a full conversation with this deer is only because of external magical sources.
Right.
And like it's a deer, so he might know a little bit more. If he ended up talking to like one of the squirrels would be like just like jittery nonsense, like acorn.
Acorn.
Whatever.
You know
Just
what?
like
We
me.
should. Wait, Trell, do you still have a few chestnuts?
Walnuts.
Walnuts, yeah, sorry,
Actually, they're walnuts.
Yeah, sorry.
Actually,
I mean, yeah, we could give a few of them to the squirrels because I'm pretty sure there's a few squirrels.
Okay. Have we
All
seen
right,
these
I see you wanna
animals
keep
do
enough
anything?
yourself.
Like honestly, like
I guess.
Yeah.
these like magical animals. Do they eat stuff?
no, they've been
Have
eating
some of them
stuff.
been pooping?
I mean,
There's poop all over that
Is
bridge,
there
all
a
the way,
trail of poop?
Yeah.
all the way.
Love it. Honestly, hilarious.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I gave a few of them. I gave them a few berries as well. First day we
did
found
do
them.
that. That's right. That's right. Okay, yeah, I can throw a couple of them walnuts to the squirrels.
Okay. Walnut. Oh. And there's like just giggling throughout the entirety of the small creature kingdom that is here. Just voracious laughter as like one of them, it turns it into like almost like a football, but it wasn't meant to be that way. They tripped and it fell and went flying, and the other one went running for it and dove to grab it and hit a tree, and they all just start cackling and laughing
It's like
amongst
watching
themselves.
a cartoon.
Yep. Exactly. Do you ask them anything else, or do you still gonna go hunt? He told you it was okay to hunt if you wanted to,
Yeah.
or to eat one of them if you wanted.
Still weird.
Yeah, still
Yeah,
work, yeah.
it still feels weird. Feels very dirty.
All right, so yeah.
You gonna tell the rest of your party?
What did they say?
Yeah.
What did they say?
Oh yeah, they're fine with us hunting.
They said they were okay with it.
Yeah,
Are they?
All right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a few foxes among them.
I mean, I
Foxes
guess
hunt.
they must understand like the circle of life.
All right. Freckles, I'll follow your lead. I'm sure you're a little bit better than I am.
Yeah, I've had some practice. Okay, so that's what me and Razier are gonna go out and hunt some stuff.
Yep.
Hunt some game. Looking
So,
for big
survival
game,
check.
small game. What kind of game you want?
Uno.
I mean,
And do good.
I think typical hunting thing, we go out, see what game we can find. If we find like a deer, that'd be great. Otherwise,
Nothing.
a bunch of some smaller stuff.
Yeah.
But-
I was helping you.
Oh, that's fair. Thanks for the help. That's pretty.
I-
obviously
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what
gonna
said.
say,
Both of us.
I do have the
Now-
wanderer feature. I do have the wanderer feature from my background, which says I can find food for myself and
Well,
up
you-
to 5 people.
You definitely find food for yourself. And
Yeah,
up
it's
to
all
5
around
people.
the camp.
No, at this point, you're finding food for your friends and people. It's like, oh look, my good berries. I found them in my pocket.
yeah. There is this really old looking mole sticking out of a hole in the ground. There's like a snake. It's partially eaten the backside of this mole. As you pull out the mole, the snake's hanging onto the back of it, and as you pull it out of this hole, neither of them are doing too good. The mole was way too big, and the snake tried to bite off way more than it could chew, and the mole passed away a long time ago. And
Oh my god.
it's
Okay.
that's what you find.
All right. This is depressing.
All right. Well, I guess it's a bad day for it.
When you
Yeah,
come
I
back,
imagine probably animals don't really hang out around here. So many campsites. You know what I mean?
There.
you get back to camp, and Louise has strung up 4 rabbits just on a stick.
All right.
I guess we went in the wrong direction.
Probably
Exactly.
gone the other way.
It's interesting. Louise kind of like cleans the animals and gets the fire set up and gets the spits, and you guys are helping, set up your camp or whatever, and the animals are just sitting and watching as the animals are prepared and cooked, and they're pretty juicy. Actually, they're pretty tasty. Can't help but kind of glance over, unless you try to specifically to avoid eye contact with the other woodland creatures that are there. There's a couple rabbits
I would.
in
Yeah.
I mean,
if
you
there
gotta
are
be
any-
so self-conscious.
If
Right
there are
now,
any that
yeah.
I catch looking at me, I'm just staring right back at them because I'm not eating. But I am returning the stare.
Right.
But
There's
I will
like a-
help clean the pelts to get those ready to bring into town.
Gotcha. Okay. There's like 2 rabbits that are staring at you, and as you're kind of looking, their noses twitch and their ears kind of go back a little bit, and then both of them shake a tiny bit, and a little tiny rabbit pops out from in between the 2 of them, and it's just kind of like jumping over them a little bit. Doesn't notice the fact that you guys are all eating other rabbits. Okay, so is there anything you're doing for this evening as you're bedding down for the night?
Yes. I want to have a quick conversation with Drake.
Okay.
And just sit down next to him.
He's laying in between like a pile of squirrels, and Buttercup is like next to the deer, just kind of like grazing on some of the grass that's within the forest itself. And
Okay.
Drake is just on the ground. Squirrels are kind of playing on him and having a blast. Oh, Xander.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Did Thrall send you?
No, I mean, I just came on my own. Is that okay? Do you not want to talk?
No, it's fine. Yeah, what's up?
I just I wanted to thank you. I thought it was pretty cool of you to, make sandwiches and offer them. I know we kind of feast on my brother's berries and stuff, but that's yeah, shut up, Eric. I see that look.
Feast on my brother's berries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I realized after I said it, but I was in too deep.
We don't all have
Right.
to have our minds in the gutters, okay?
There's no thoughts about it. It just sounded funny.
It does.
But
It does.
I just I wanted to thank you. I thought that was pretty cool. And, I mean, is there any particular reason you went out of your way to do that, or
Totally. Hold on.
A loading screen.
the new
No,
music?
that's not good. Sure. You can't beat this song. Just yeah,
I love this
You can't
song,
beat it.
dude.
just good for a background
This song
sound.
is so good.
Oh, we don't need to stream anymore. Okay. Yeah. I was taught from a pretty young age to make food for myself, and just wanted to share with the group. You guys are looking out for me, and hey, that's the least I could do. But nobody seemed to be really hungry. Yeah. Do you think does Thrall like to cook?
I think Threll's more of a hunter, and somebody else will make the food. I also think Threll would rather be served at a bar than cook food herself. I think like bar food is kind of a safe bet.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
You get that vibe also.
Oh, well, I was just saying, better go to the old hammer and get something there than to make something at home, That's what I always
Old
say.
Hammer. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's probably right. Wow. Yeah. It feels weird. It feels like it's been a long time since we were last there.
Yeah, a couple days at least.
How
Yeah, you like the magic, right?
Yeah. Oh, did you read the book?
I started it. So
That's good. Yeah. No.
yeah, no, it's really good so far. Can't wait to get further into it and wait for things to really develop before it. You can really sink your teeth into the books. Anyways, yeah. So he's just kind of like super, just awkwardly,
Yeah.
just kind of like looking around, and
I'm just gonna look over at him. How are you holding up?
yeah, fine.
It must be a lot, to leave home so young and, traveling with a bunch of people you don't really know.
I thought it might happen one day. So my dad always had me ready with a plan.
Is that because the chainless over there?
I
Or you
guess so.
Just kind of always had you ready for anything.
He just said there might be a day when I might have to run and he might not be able to help me. There was like a different plan if he was with me, a different plan if he wasn't. But he never said where to go. There was never a plan of where I was supposed to go, just how I was supposed to get out. And I followed it to a T, and I guess that's the last thing he left me was getting to safety, which was just out of town, I guess. But here we are. I mean, you guys seem to be the most powerful people around, so I couldn't be anywhere safer. I think he'd be happy. Did you ever meet my dad? Did you ever see him in town?
Who is your dad?
Brano?
I don't
People
know.
called him Brano.
I I don't think we were around long enough to have the pleasure.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm sure,
He
it
wasn't.
sounds like he did a good job prepping you at least.
He wasn't ever one to take the spotlight. That was more of his friend. They used to go to the old hammer, like I said, and kind of. He said he made the trip to Ryver once, but I never really heard the full story. Just that they went and picked some things up and made it back okay. But
Well, maybe when we get over to Ryver, you can find out more about that story from the people who were there.
my dad told me this, like, legend of the dancing cloth or something. He was like, I assumed it was, like he was coming up with this bedtime story because I was younger and like wasn't cool back then.
Right,
So
yeah,
like
of
there's
course.
like the story of the dancing handkerchief or something is what he called it, and it was like this blue thing that would kind of dance. It's stupid. It's kids stuff, but it would
Right.
like sing, and I always thought that was cool. Kind of always wished I had a singing, dancing handkerchief to keep me company.
The best stories always have a little bit of truth. Maybe there's something out there for you that's a little handkerchief that's waiting to be your friend. I mean, I've seen a lot of crazy things, and that wouldn't really be that out of the picture.
What do you think Razier's going to do with me once we get there? You guys are all. I know Razier's not like in charge, although he kind of like acts like he's in charge sometimes. But tells me to be quiet and kind of get down and stay low. And what is that? What is that? What is Razier? Are you walking, kicking him?
He's kicking him out. We're in an area that he definitely knows best. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. We don't really know what's gonna happen when we get to town. We have some stuff to discuss, and you should. I mean, it's your future. You get some input as well. I don't think that continuing to travel with us is an option, unfortunately. But in town, there's going to be options for you to think about, and we can try and figure something out. But he knows this area better than the rest of us do. I mean, maybe not Black Star, but we haven't really gotten the whole scoop on him. But like, I know Threll, myself, and Lou have. I mean, we're from Nyx Ruinum in the surrounding area, so it's. If we were up there, it would probably be Threll calling the shots. I kind of like to hang back a little bit, but it's just kind of his territory. Kind of let him call the shots right now.
I just want to let you know that if you guys give me to some kind of adoption agency or something, or however that works here in Ryver, I'm not gonna stay an orphan and just like go through the process. I'm just not gonna do that. That's not cool.
I mean,
so
you're that's crazy. For an 11-year-old, you seem like you've got a lot of resolve.
I'm pretty sure they'll take Buttercup away from me, and that's Buttercup's all I have left.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to hold on to the things that you have. Resolve is good. I don't really have it yet. We live in a world where that's kind of a good trait to have, and you got to, keep a good head on your shoulders, and I'm still kind of learning that. I was a sheltered kid, so.
You were sheltered.
Yeah.
Did your dad teach you cool things and have an escape plan and all that?
No. Yeah, I mean, I saw my dad at dinner, and we'd talk at night and stuff, but it was my mom for me. Uh, but she, I mean, hit the books, all the time. So I'm very well read, but I miss a lot of social cues, and I don't really understand how things work out here all the time. And, you know, I'm I'm learning a lot of important lessons, and it's you know, it's a crazy world. And even though we're a little different in age, I think we have some things that we can relate on here.
I yeah. Well, you had a mom, so that's good.
Yeah,
Have.
yeah, I guess.
Sorry, have.
No,
Have
it's
a
yeah.
mom.
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Um,
She's great. I hope that.
well,
Yeah.
maybe we could, have more to, talk sometime if you convince Razier not to get rid of me once we get to Ryver. We could kind of like share more on the road. I could just be like, the sidekick in the background. You could teach me some of your magic, maybe some things I could impress Thrall with. But
Keep going back to Thrall.
yeah,
Yeah, you have a crush or something?
I mean, no, what do you mean? What are you
I
talking
mean,
about?
it's
Who would have a crush on
so,
Thrall? She's
so
totally
it's okay
gross.
if you do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not a big deal.
She just seems really strong, and I think she's really cool.
She is really cool. She has
And
that thing with her mind.
Oh, he doesn't have a crush on her. He wants Throw to be his new mom.
Mummy issues.
You know what? That's not better.
Yeah, it's arguably worse. It's arguably worse.
It's
Yeah.
surprise adoption, but the other way around.
No.
I mean, yeah, no, she is really cool and strong.
Yeah.
It's really cool to be traveling with her.
she
but-
just seems like the kind of person who would have your back. And yeah, I'm glad you have that. And a mom. Yeah. And a dad now. Yeah. It's getting kind of late. I'm kind of tired. So I'm gonna maybe go lay down a little bit and
Yeah,
Just-
go to bed.
yeah, maybe you guys can like get me some, I don't know, armor from Ryver, and I can sneak off somewhere and make my own chainless gang or something. I don't, whatever. Just kind of storms off.
Not
Just
chainless.
he just literally walks away from you mid sentence.
Hey, not chainless.
He's kind of like, you see him trying to hide it, but isn't able to, and kind of like wipes an arm across one eye, goes over and sits down wherever next to Razier, like far, not right next to Razier, but like in the general vicinity of Razier, and just kind of like sits there at the fire, looking at the fire, kind of one eye a little bit red. Razier, you did hear him say just armor from Ryver, and something clicks in your mind at the description that Xander provided of the person who was sitting at the fire, and the armor that they're wearing is definitely meets the description of a guard from Ryver.
All right. Well,
Hey, y'all.
That went well. Huh?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Anyways, that fellow we passed back there. I just remembered that armor that you described him wearing sounds a lot like the guards of Ryver. That may or may not have been one of the guards way out here.
Should we go back and check?
I mean,
I mean,
might be out
maybe
here.
it might be helpful to ask a couple questions before we actually make it into town, get a lowdown on what's going on.
I mean, yeah, I was
Because
gonna
Black
say.
Star's been oddly quiet. I mean, he clearly can't give us the lowdown here.
I was gonna say the guard might be out here because of what's like weird stuff might be happening in town.
Mhm.
Right. Might not be a bad idea.
All right, before it gets dark, we should go say hi.
It's been progressively getting dark as you've been, you know, you went hunting,
Yeah.
and then cooked the food, so yeah.
Probably still
get-
find them though.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't find them. I'm just saying it's definitely, like, if not already dark, it's starting to get pretty dark at this point. Not that that matters for Razir ever. Anyways, so you head off in that direction.
Yeah. Anybody want to go with?
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
come.
I guess.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's fine. I'll stick around here.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
stay
You-
in the camp.
Black Star and the kid.
I'd love to use this great excuse to not be in the camp.
Are you okay?
The kid creeps me out.
Oh, yeah. I think he likes you or something.
Yeah, he made that pretty clear. He's not good at subtlety, despite the fact he can hide so well.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I
just-
clocked it pretty immediately.
No, I mean, I just clocked. Did everybody else clock that right away?
Did you
Kinda.
not?
Kinda, yeah.
I love this.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Let's just not talk to each other. Okay.
I mean, pretty sure we kind of all assumed everybody else figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you not? Did you not notice?
I mean, no. He
Really?
just-
I assumed you did.
I mean, I'm
Smart guy.
Smart-ish,
I'm
maybe.
book smart. I'm
Okay.
smart. Yeah, I'm smart-ish. I don't have
You ain't,
everything at my disposal yet.
You read a lot of books. You ain't never read a book about romancing or wooing the ladies?
You guys should go.
Yeah, why don't you make your little bubble thing and yeah.
Yeah. I'll make the bubble. You guys go. I read books.
That's what I said.
I know
That
stuff.
was-
All right.
all right.
Okay, so it's
And
thrown.
as we're walk away, I just over to Lou. Do y'all not have that up back home? Them kind of books? There's just mumbling about that.
Okay, so it's Thrall, Razir, and Louise that make your way towards the other camp. Okay, a few minutes travel through the woods. Are you guys trying to be stealthy and sneak up on this guy, or are you making your presence known? Or
Well, I
We
mean,
should make our presence known.
yeah, he seemed on edge.
Yeah.
We shouldn't spook him.
Walk casually, and if he notices, he notices.
Did you bring Gade with us?
Oh, that would be so terrifying. This giant
Yeah.
wolf stalking through the forest.
To bring
I'm gonna get an invocation that allows me to talk through my horse, so I'm just gonna have my skeleton, or not skeleton, my spooky horse walk up to people and just
I love
start
Mm.
talking to
I
them.
love Pact of the Chain. It's so good.
That's
I
weird.
love that he just called his horse a skeleton horse when it's not undead.
It's not. I just have skeleton horse in my head because of Zelda with the stall horses.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm sorry, but skeletal horses for me, it's always Minecraft.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no Spara, no Gade, just the three of you guys walking through the woods. Get up to
Yeah,
this
that seems
camp.
fine.
You get to, you're not making an effort to be quiet, but you're not making a whole lot of noise. You're trying to you're not stomping through the woods as you're walking towards them. But at a certain point, he kind of you can see him through the trees before he sees you because he's in the light, and he looks like he's mostly finished this wooden spear that he's been working on this whole time. He's finished eating his meal a cooked rodent, and he's just kind of sitting there looking into the fire, kind of eyes wide, almost like he's having a vision of some kind. And there's like a particular twig branch that snaps, and he's like, "Oh!" He like jumps up and holds a spear out. "Oh, oh, oh. Who goes there? Who?
Howdy, partner.
Who?
We
Oh, people.
we're-
You friend or
Right.
foe?
well, as far as we know,
Hopefully
friendly.
friend, yeah.
We're trying to figure out who you are. Funny enough, we saw you earlier. We left you be, but I noticed that armor you're wearing. I'm from the area around here. I know Ryver, and that armor looks like the guards of Ryver.
Oh, what have you heard? What have you?
I
Who's
ain't heard nothing. I ain't been around town in a good number of weeks. Been about a month at
You-
this point.
Mercenary? Someone sent you?
Fella, you seem very on edge, and we ain't got no idea what's going on. Most we heard is something's happening in town, something, but we ain't got no idea what's going on. So if you want to let us know, we could help ease your worries. But we ain't here for no particular reason other than to find out what's going on.
You step. He like holds the spear and like kind of motions towards where his campsite is, and you guys are still like in the woods a little bit as you're walking forward, and he's kind of motioning. Just step more into the light, so I can see who you are. It's
All right.
okay. You guys walk.
Just so you know, we do got weapons on us, but don't be scared. We ain't intending on using them.
All I have is this. Well, that's not true. I have hidden weapons that you don't know where they are.
I'm sure you do, friend.
You're the adventurers. Some adventurers. You said you're from around the Ryver area. Where are you headed?
I'm from around here. The rest of my friends are from elsewhere, farther north. We just come from direction of, north. We were intending on heading to Ryver. Been traveling for a good bit and needs a place to stay and stock up and have some downtime.
Yeah. I don't. I guess rather an impasse. I don't know what to say. Don't know whether or not to tell you who I am or why I'm out here, but it's dangerous around these woods and around the city, and I haven't been back there in days. Well,
there a reason for that you want to share, or you want us just to leave you be?
I think there's something happening within the city, and I was sent out on a routine mission to protect Jacob. Yep. Loading screen real quick. Hold on 1 second.
Fax machine.
Intending on protecting Jacob, Mr. Festerline, and we were ambushed outside of town, and last thing I saw was what looked like the limb of a spider coming down on me. I couldn't react fast enough, and next thing I knew, I woke up in some horrible place where looked like there were things growing on the walls, and I managed to escape, but my limbs weren't what I thought they were, and there was a potion, and I drank it, and my memory's fuzzy, but I swam to the top of wherever I was and escaped and made my way up the river, and then found this forest, and now I'm here.
When you say your limbs weren't like they were they like translucent, like had hair on them?
That description is something I've never heard before. I don't know what you're talking about. It's almost like I was drugged. and didn't have full use of my thinking abilities or my limbs. Just seemed drugged. It's since worn off, but I barely escaped with my life.
You said it was spiders that grabbed you.
I think so, but to claim so might cause an uproar. I couldn't return to town because I knew it was an ambush. I knew that we were set upon by someone of our own, I think. You know, a member of the Sentinels.
All right.
These days...
And who was this Jacob Festerline, you said? Who was he that you were guarding? What were y'all doing outside of town?
He's one of the lead officials on the member of the government. You know, our system of government within Ryver. You said you know of Ryver's made up of 3 council members, and Jacob Festerline is one of them. Was one of them.
I would have known that then, probably.
You would have, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's not a whole
Maybe not
lot
the
of
name.
reason. Maybe not the name. Yeah.
Okay. Jacob. Oh, he's the man on the council then, or was the man on the council?
I don't know what.
What was
happened to
he?
him.
What was he doing out here? Was it just you?
No,
Member of the council coming out of town and just one guard?
He travels with a contingent of 5, and I was a fill-in. One had fallen ill, and I was told to go with him. I wasn't given specifics on what we were doing, just that we were heading towards Mount Solitude. There was rumors that something had been discovered. That's all I really know. We were going to go check it out. He's not only is the one of the council members, but he's also kind of the head of research of the council, kind of overseeing the... Where is it in my notes? The Clearwater Academy. So he likes to go and see things for himself. Normally they send Octowave, but he insisted this particular thing be his own, and so I was simply a bodyguard. But I wasn't able to fulfill my mission. But I think we were ambushed. That's all I remember.
So a member of the council decides that since he's head of research, he wants to go investigate something new that's found. And instead of sending the raiders, he goes out with a group of 5 guards to go investigate. And then y'all are ambushed. All right.
I mean, Brazier, didn't you hear something about something you were looking for being in Mount Solitude?
Yeah. Yeah. Something.
I don't have anything left to give you for food.
Oh, don't worry about that. We're fine. We were just kind of trying to figure out what you were doing here, and sounds like quite the story.
Well, I needed to be able to get out of town, and I was thinking of heading to Beacon.
That's probably not a good idea. In a little bit of a mess, but there may or may not be a good place for you to go.
Oh, is that where you've come from, is Beacon?
In that direction, at least. Lone man traveling, trying to get away. Ain't got much on you. Sorry, friend, I'm not sure where to suggest you go. You could try your hand at Beacon. It may or may not, like I said, be a spot you want to go to, but it ain't Ryver.
Well, is it at least safe, meaning are there at least raiders there? I heard that there was a turnover recently.
That's unlikely.
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
No raiders.
Yeah, I heard the body of the old raiders were found in like the sewers below the city, but that's it.
Right. Do both of you make deception checks?
I love hiding information.
What are we?
Technically
We're
not
not.
lying.
We're not lying at all.
Or persuasion. Your choice. Pick
Yeah,
one. But
it's
roll
the same
roll a
for me.
charisma
It's the same.
check for me.
Yeah, it's
Same for me either way.
that's good for me.
Oh,
I had it higher than he's there.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I'll be able to head towards Beacon. Maybe I'll go there and just try my luck. I don't know what waits for me there, but you say it's the whole world is just screwed up. I thought
That it is, friend.
Ryver was a place of, fishing and has a jovial atmosphere, and I thought we had this. I don't know. Thankfully, I don't have any family there, so I can try and start over somewhere else. But it's a dark place, and all I would say: don't trust the spiders.
Right.
Quick question: when you
That's-
say spiders, do you mean like actual spiders, or is there like a
He-
group like similar to
he-
Chainless?
Nah, he means spiders.
Yeah,
Literal
well, I
The
mean,
court. They refer to
I
themselves
hadn't really
as the
got
court.
to it.
alright, yeah.
I hadn't really got to it yet to tell y'all. I'll fill you in with the rest of the group, but
the court is made of spiders?
yeah.
Well, it's the spiders that call themselves the court. That's separate from the system of government.
Like I said, I'll fill y'all in. But for right now,
This is why I don't deal with politics. Y'all got stupid names.
It's so complex.
Yeah, right. Because
one
Iron
last thing. You
Saddle
said
is
you
such a good name.
You said you came upriver. Do you remember where you said you surfaced from wherever you were being held?
Any like 1,000-yard stare for a good 10 seconds and doesn't respond to you and then seems to come to. Yeah, like I said, I made my way up through the holding cells, up through the well, found myself a boat, got into town. They caught me, beat me up, questioned me. I escaped. Then I made my way out through a hole in the outer wall and followed the road until I hit the bridge, and then I made my way into the woods and found this campsite.
Holy smokes.
All right. Well,
What a day.
quite the time you've had there, friend.
Which is totally not what he told you the first time.
Yeah. All right. So you were okay. I think I got a little bit of an idea there. Well, thank you for telling us your story, letting us know a little bit about what's going on in town. You got a name?
Oh, it's on the other document that I had up. There it is.
Bob.
Now, if I
Mark.
tell you my name, you can't tell anyone you saw me or spoke with me. I'd
In
never
fact,
existed.
I'm asking your name so that I could specifically avoid mentioning it.
Wouldn't you have an easier time if you didn't know my name?
If somebody asks if I found somebody, I'll ask. You know what? That's your choice to make. Stay anonymous if you want.
What's your name?
Fair point.
Also,
All right.
Steve.
All right,
Well,
nameless one
Thank
who's
you for
not from
your-
Beacon.
sure ain't. You be safe on your travels. Thanks for giving us the warning. We'll leave you to your camp.
You don't have any spare weapons or a shield, a bow, anything?
I mean,
A bedroll?
I do have this short sword here. I don't use much.
I have this makeshift flint knife and my wooden spear I've made.
I have that. I have a hand crossbow as well with a few bolts.
Okay.
That's
What do you give him? If anything.
Do you want boat? I don't mind.
Do I want a boat?
No, boat being the short sword and the
Boat.
crossbow.
Oh, both. Oh,
Both.
You want a boat?
yeah. I'll take whatever you're willing to give me. Give me the best chance of survival out here.
Exactly.
How's the bridge? Or did you come from the bridge?
Just
Said
as many
both.
holes as it's always had.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. He takes the short sword and you said it's hand crossbow or a. What did you say, Felix?
What?
It's a crossbow and some bolts.
A crossbow, some bolts, and a short sword. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. You hand him over. Louise gains inspiration.
Ooh, look at you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. May our paths
will be
never
happy
cross
to.
again. I don't.
Really had inspiration on now.
You already had inspiration.
Yeah.
All right. I'll allow you. Can give it to somebody else of your choice. And you don't
Black
know.
Star.
And you don't know who has it and who doesn't have it. Black Star. Okay. There you go. Black Star.
Literally everybody else has it. That was a great choice.
Really?
How come nobody uses it? That's weird.
Well,
Just
because
got it.
we
And
have
we've
my
been
chronal
walking for
shift.
3 weeks.
I have
Because you warned us that this world is deadly, so we're saving it for a, oh no, I'm gonna die moment.
That's funny.
I'm pretty sure I used mine, but then I got another one
Yeah.
sometime later.
Yeah, and the chronal shift is definitely like oh yeah, I don't want to use this. Like Xander can just help me re-roll instead.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys make your way back to your campsite. From there, settle in, fill in your other party members with however much of that information you want to share. I gotta go put Nova to bed, so we're gonna take a short break here. So, your evening. Is there any other conversation you guys are going to be having around the campfire?
Right. Yes. So we come back and explain this guy's story. This man had a wild night. He may or may not have been drunk for it. Who knows? But that's what he said happened. So right, we're getting to be about into town now. I figured I should give you all a bit of a rundown of how Ryver is. It's so, as the two of y'all heard, he mentioned spiders. So there's spiders in town. And I don't mean name of the gang or nothing. They're big, smart, talking spiders. And they're part of the town.
So
They live in the town, and one of them's on the council of 3 that runs the town.
That's real. They're just big sentient spiders,
Yeah, and they came out of the water. They came out of the water too.
and everyone's just cool with that.
That's how it is.
Quick question: could the spider the giant one we fought in the Rising of Requiem be like?
No, that was a different one. It didn't look nothing like the ones from Ryver here. So yeah, the spiders used to live out in the lake. There's a big old hole in the middle of it, and they live down at the bottom of that. That's where the mine is now. Called the Gambler's Basin out there. That's where they're from. Then they've come up and been living in town since there's been a town. And like I said, they're just around, and like I said, one of them's on the council. So
Aquatic spiders.
Yeah.
mine in the lake?
Under the lake. There's
Under the lake.
a spot in the middle where the lake don't fall in. It's kind of sticks up a bit, but then there's the hole in the middle, and it goes down to their old place they lived, and there's mines down there, and they're not the only ones that mine. There's a company that's set up that works the mines and whatnot. But yeah, there's spiders. around town.
Okay, so but every time I've seen a spider, right, falls into some water, it like dies, like it's screwed, it can't move, drowns. You're telling me that these spiders can swim?
Most of them, I think, just like most people can swim. There's not sometimes run into a fella who can't, and he might drown in 3 inches of water. But yeah, I think most of them spiders can handle their own.
How big are they?
How big are these spiders? That's a good question.
Pretty close to people size, but I don't know, half the size of Gade.
People-sized spiders that can
That's
swim.
still pretty big.
They're not as tall as people, but they're like,
Do they got like people faces on them?
no.
Or they're just big spiders, and they can talk without a mouth.
They got mouths.
Well, yeah, but not like people mouths. They got like.
No, that'd be weird.
Yeah, because
people
giant
mouse.
spiders are totally normal.
For Ryver, it is.
I'm gonna
You
get.
you and your brother come from a place where magic items pop out of the ground. What are you
I'm gonna
surprised
get,
by some
like,
spiders?
Like
Uh,
carrots.
I'm gonna get like a whole new.
Yeah, there's a
level.
farm just outside the wall of the town. They pull magic items out of the ground.
Wow, that's how they farm, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get in the town, right? This is what you're saying, and I'm gonna see giant spiders that talk and can swim, and this is just normal.
You
That's
know,
just a normal day.
I think this is just the kind of thing that only happens in the South. Like us Northerners are pretty accustomed to like being pretty tolerable and normal. I think down there it's a little different.
I ain't gonna disagree with you. The closer you get to the caldera, the wilder things get.
South is insane. I'm gonna get like a new set of trauma in this town. I'm telling you, man. Spiders, not really my jam. Talking aquatic spiders, that sounds like a nightmare I had once.
Just something. We are kind of bringing a kid into Ryver. Maybe we should. Like, I don't know how he's gonna react to seeing giant spiders.
I mean, Drake
Well,
is there in the.
yeah,
Unless you're,
Oh, I thought he was
He
sleeping.
went to bed.
oh, he did go to. Well,
Yeah.
Sure.
He said he was going to bed.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
But
got
he's
one
definitely
eye
doing
open.
the.
He's
He's
rolled
definitely
away.
doing the.
Yeah, he's rolled away from you guys right now. Kind of blanket pulled
Definitely
up.
listening.
Like,
Yeah,
chuck
well.
a berry at him to see if he's awake.
Ow! What, guys?
Alright, so.
Look, if you're going to
Spiders.
listen, you might as well be part of the
How
conversation.
hard are these berries? That's like a.
I mean, some of them are getting to be like a day old, so they're getting a little,
They're starting to go
little
stale.
stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, kid. Spiders. What are your thoughts?
Oh. Well, if Razier says they're safe, then I don't. Should be fine, right?
Well, it's safe as any other stranger to you.
You guys are powerful enough to handle any spiders that might come after us, anyways. I would assume, if they did.
Depends on how many of them. But
Does this kid think we can be like a dragon? Like,
Have you beaten a
probably
dragon?
does.
no.
Sorta.
Could you beat a dragon?
There was that big lizard. It almost looked like
Oh,
half a
yeah,
dragon.
Oh
How
yeah,
did-
the one like with Zender had the
Yeah, he's got some
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean, it might
bones.
as well have been a dragon. It was really cool.
Yeah, did it breathe fire?
Nah, it didn't.
Oh,
It didn't
no.
breathe fire. It only had 2 legs, and it
didn't
had
have
0
wings. Yeah.
Oh,
And its arms were real short.
I think
You know, like-
you're just describing a drink,
Well,
but with
Yeah,
like
maybe a bit more like a Drake.
short legs.
Half Drake because it had only 2 long legs.
I'm sure that's
Well-
a thing, and there's probably a word for it.
I feel like the
Yeah.
spiders aren't as scary as a big lizard thing.
It died
I mean-
real quick.
And there was only one big lizard thing.
Yeah,
Pretty sure
I mean,
there's
if
a
gang
bunch
of
of giant
people,
spiders there.
if a gang of people jumped on you, you'd have problems. Just because they're spiders, don't mean it's going to be any worse or better.
Except they have 8 legs,
Depends. Well, yeah, that's true.
but no hands. So that's good.
They
Not
don't have
really.
Hands. How do they mine?
They got their ways. They use their legs, kind of hook on stuff, and they got their
They
ways
what?
of doing stuff.
Wait.
Their
so these are-
legs are
these are
still. They
not-
can
these
walk
are
up a wall
Hold
as
on.
they can
So
stick onto
these are
something.
not
and
like
carry 'em.
humanoid spiders. Like these are
Ah,
8-legged
they-
spiders that are just human shaped.
No, they ain't
Human
human.
size.
They're
There's
they're just regular giant spiders.
just think of a normal little
They-
spider you might see in the woods, and think of it as
talk to you.
big as a
I-
child,
You know,
as tall as a child.
I think I'm about to experience the harshest culture shock.
Y'all will see when we get into town.
Well, I mean,
And
harshest culture,
it-
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure there's much weirder stuff in the Caldera.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the harshest I've ever dealt with.
Look, y'all get into town. You'll be able to see in the folks, the spider folk. They're used to travelers being shocked at them, so you ain't gonna offend nobody by just staring a bit. Just don't be pushy about nothing. Leave strangers alone. Y'all know.
Wait, but what do the spiders eat? Aren't spiders
Fish
carnivores?
sometimes.
Like,
A lot of fish.
alright.
It's a fishing town. They're aquatic.
Yeah.
Insight
and then
check.
there's they
Is he
farm.
lying to us? Does he know
They-
this
they also-
information?
They also
The
farm
spiders
a bit.
ate him! That's why he came back to get his revenge!
Oh my god.
It's actually making an insight check.
I ain't lying.
All right.
They also do a little bit of farming for something down in their home cave, whatever. That gets sold a bit, but maybe they eat some of that.
Oh, Mr. Razier, are there just spiders? I mean, webs, just everywhere? Because, spiders make webs.
These
Aquatic.
ones tend not to do so in town. If they do, I ain't sure about that. The town ain't covered in spider webs, no. Because there's people living there, and that'd be a bit inconvenient. I ain't been in the Gambler's Basin myself or down the Wishing Well, but
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure, going off what the guard we just talked to told us, there might be a few more spider webs than when you left.
that's true. I ain't sure what's going on. I wish Blackstar could tell me what he knew was going wrong in town, but he's being awfully quiet today. He's already
I mean,
asleep.
I could tell you what Blackstar knows.
Come on, baby.
In my
It's
notes,
more about what Blackstar would share.
in my notes,
Um,
I did have like rumors that one of the leaders of Ryver went missing. Pretty sure he told us that.
He did.
Yeah.
Which we now know might be Jacob, and so Mr. Guardman might have been missing for longer than he realized.
Right.
If word got, if Blackstar heard about that and then also traveled all the way up to Beacon, and now is coming back.
I mean, last time I was there, I just kind of played at the local taverns that would have my voluptuous self and paid me handsomely, not quite as handsomely as
Voluptuous
myself.
Voluptuous.
Not quite as handsome as myself, of course. But what I will say is that I was able to gather some information while I was there, and, what the townsfolk was willing to tell me was that it's hard to hear over the sound of all the applause, honestly. But really, the crux of the matter is that they're in trouble. They've got...
Wait, the real important question there: were the spiders applauding you? And if so, how?
It's hard to tell, baby, when there's so many individuals out there. Could be, arachnid-type appendages smacking themselves together, or hands. I don't judge.
It's like he's really here.
It's like he never left.
I feel his presence with us. Step forward.
I mean,
Anyways.
I just realized something. We're freaking out about giant spiders. We have a guy whose head is literally always on fire right now.
Yeah, that's normal.
It's not, though.
Of course,
Sure,
That's not a common scene thing.
I'm pretty
Common
sure
scene.
I've
Common
seen that.
things.
I haven't seen talking spiders before, though.
Brazier, I'm pretty sure I know. If
I've been around the block once or twice. Okay, I can know.
I've been around the block a few times.
But I was just there. I was just there in Ryver, and they were very receptive to my presence, and they wouldn't mind hearing my songs again. After all, they are the best around. Maybe we'll run into a few of my old colleagues. They were a couple around when I was there the last time. Not quite as dashing as myself, although some do try to attain to this level of glory. After all.
Going a little bit drunk there. Kuska.
It's not my character.
Kuska's poison.
Yeah. Where's-
Wrong
excuse me.
lever!
that
Anyways,
shell.
so he doesn't have terribly more information than what you already have, but he has already been through there, has experienced the spiders. He's not like he's welcomed in town. They know who he was. He made a little bit of a not a name for himself, but like Genasi's not banned in town or anything. So
Right. So there's something going on in town. It might be some big kerfuffle in the town, or it might be something going on behind the scenes with the leaders and whatnot. Whether we get involved with that or not, that's up to us later. But if the town's all right, we can go about our business, sell what we got to sell, take a little rest time, and then figure out which direction we're going once we get to town and what to do with
I
the kid.
feel like going to Mount Solitude might be a good idea because you had something to go there. We just heard from the guard we met that there might be something there as well. So
It's sounding like it's a
You
good
saw
direction to
it,
go, yeah. Might have to look into that. Maybe we'll get a bit more idea in town if there's more rumors of what's going on. And then again, if we also follow the way that Jacob was going, then we might get grabbed by spiders too. Who knows what's going on over there, but all right, yeah, sounds like we might want to head that way. But yeah, so that's the rundown of the town as far as the spiders go. Y'all know about them now, and they're kind of just around town. It's not like you can find them more of them farther south. Just this
a
one spot.
Ryver thing specifically.
Yeah, and
Well,
who knows? But
I guess that's kind of nice to know.
now y'all, that's the lowdown on that. Another tip I'd say is if anyone comes to you when we're near the docks, if anybody comes up to you and tries to sell you fish, don't buy from them. They're trying to rip you off. Go to the vendors that are either coming in or selling from their own place and ask them for prices. They're the ones who will sell you at the right price for what they caught.
Okay.
Just
anything else we should know?
Nothing different from any other place. Don't make too long eye contact with nobody you don't think is somebody you can take in a fight. But
Yeah, that's
I mean, I
normal.
guess that depends on which bar you go to and how drunk the people are.
Yeah, no, Lou and I used to get in fights all the time back home because we look at people different. Yeah, that's normal.
I ain't sure about
Wait,
you, but I could believe it for Lou.
wait, you thought the books you're reading?
See, it's not just me. I'm not the only one who misses the cues. It's not just me. There's
Oh,
Right.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Right, yeah.
so looks like I for one don't like to get involved with nothing about the council, and if there's one of them missing, I don't want to join no rescue party myself. I just
I mean,
I just
we
work
kind of
out of
had,
Ryver.
yeah, we kind of had a spotlight on us at Beacon, and we saw how that turned out. So maybe avoiding that for a while might be a good idea.
I think we did pretty okay.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but then as
a
we're
little bit of
leaving
time.
the Requiem, who was waiting for us because they knew where we were? Raiders of Nixmunum.
Yeah, well, those guys were
Right.
twins.
Hope the Octawave shouldn't be nothing like them other Raiders or like we were. Octawave, by the way, is what the Raiders of Ryver call themselves. Their group.
Is there 8 of
Are
them
they
or something?
octopi?
Are there 8 of them?
Oh my god. Are they
Is
like
that what they call them?
are they octopi?
No.
Are there like spider octopi
No,
now? Is that what you're telling
they're-
me? Is that what's
they're-
going to happen to your mouth right now? Those
They're-
words are coming out into my ears.
That
Yeah.
I missed the first part.
The Octawave, the Raiders, they are a hybrid spider octopus
What is this town?
people. No, I'm kidding. There ain't even
Oh
8
my
of them.
God.
I don't know why they call themselves that. Maybe there used to be 8 and they lost members or something or gained.
do
I
they
don't know, but
do they have like 8 legs?
Are they
no,
spiders?
they're non-spiders like the rest of us. They're just regular people.
No,
I
they're
don't get
not.
this place.
Are you?
Oh, I was hoping I would be correct.
No,
Are
the,
they spider?
no,
Are
the,
they
the
spiders?
Raiders of Ryver are spiders.
Oh, okay.
All
that's
of them?
probably where they get
Yes,
the name
all of them are spiders.
Oh,
Well, the name kind of makes
rewind.
sense.
Yeah,
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
Octawave. They're that the whole are the Raiders of Ryver. They're all actually spiders as well. They kind of take care of things. See, Ryver kind of was a very small little fishing town before the spiders came along and kind of built up the place. So they're kind of built into the history of the town, and they're kind of the reason it's as big as it is. So they're kind of involved in everything, including being the Raiders.
So I don't think I told you this, but so the spiders make up about maybe a third of the population of Ryver. They're fully integrated. There are shops that are owned and run by spiders. They're in all levels of various classes of what would be humanoid people within the town.
You just said they're in all classes of like the town. I'm just imagining a beggar, but instead of being like a human, it's just a spider.
Homeless spiders.
Homeless spiders. There aren't any homeless spiders, at least not that you know about. But
They just go find an
make
alleyway
their
and make
home.
their own web.
Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely more industrious than some of what would be considered the lazier humans that might be amidst the town. There aren't any of them that aren't productive in some way. So there is that.
Yeah, humans suck.
Yeah.
They pretty much do. Yeah, you're not lying. Anyways,
So, yeah, the Raiders are spiders as well. Hopefully, they can. Well, knowing whether that fellow was telling the truth or not, if they were. Look, just like any other place, each spider's their own person, and who knows if they're all colluding together or what, but I would doubt that. The Raiders are hopefully taking care of stuff around town, as they have been. But, yeah, we got involved in some stuff in Beacon. I'd like to avoid that around here.
Okay.
At least any kind of the big trouble if we can. But if we go to Mount Solitude, we might get pulled into something. Who knows what's going on?
Okay.
But
Sure,
yeah,
sure,
we'll
yeah.
get to town. We'll take our time.
Yeah.
We
The
ain't
politics
in
of
no
this place
rush.
sounds simple.
It's just like any other town. There's one mayor. There's just a council of 3, and they represent the
Yeah, I mean,
populace.
Going off of that, Nix Runem is more complicated. There's 5 like families running. Well, not necessarily running the city, but who have the most influence.
Yep. Nix Runum
I love
is
when we describe things in game and Tim's like,
I guess that works. It's not exactly correct.
yeah.
Well, actually,
actually, Nix Runum has probably the second most complicated government in the world, next to Alice Narian, for sure.
This side of the
and
world.
Ryver is third, just
You don't-
because of
you don't know.
spiders.
Actually, probably Tailnoro is third because it's just chaos and lawlessness, and
I
it's just
think
like
Tailnoro-
whoever's the most
Yeah.
powerful gang leader
Wouldn't
pops into power. and-
Anarian V, Redwall, Hyalus also have kind of.
well, Redwall should
Basically,
be
every
super simple.
city
It's just
has
an
its own
abbey.
like weird quirk.
yeah.
Yeah, as far as complex systems of government.
Sayor is just tons of people who are constantly high and don't want to leave.
Yeah,
Exactly.
except for Shaku somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. You just have to go there and find out for yourself.
Oh, I still have a blunt.
Yeah,
Oh, y'all
we all
do. Thank
do.
I have
There's
the
totally there. Just so you
I
know,
have the
there will
blunt of
totally be
Shaku
a small
summoning.
child leaving with my blunt.
Oh my goodness. That's so ridiculous. Adam will be pleased to know that his drugs got passed on to a child, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I think that covers most of it. Like I said the other day, I got a couple places I could show y'all around, a couple shops and whatnot, and maybe that one bartender I know, he might take a fancy to the kid. Might be a place for him there. But yeah, I figure we've been moving along quite a bit, so take a bit of time to enjoy a few days in town. I think rest, relax, and whatnot. At least some point. Ain't good for a body to keep going all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd like to hang out a little bit, make it into town, write some of these spell scrolls into my book, and finally be able to use them. So
How's that work, by the way? If you just write it in your book, it doesn't get used up like a scroll usually does, or
yeah, so it's kind of like it's a whole memorization process and like a learning process. It's like I have to use certain materials. Like if I do it with just any regular cheap old ink, like it's not the same. It's like I have to imbue it and make it mine. Make it my own spell and my own thing.
Our special
gotta-
boy needs special paper and special ink.
So you gotta remember like the whole spell, like all the words and parts of it. Can't
Yeah.
just you don't just like remember the name and you can do the magic.
No, I have to do the whole thing.
That sounds exhausting.
It's not
And
that
now
bad.
you know
remember all
why. Now you know why he's unable to pick up social cues.
There's not enough space
Brain's
in my
too
brain. Yeah.
All right. Sounds like a lot of work. Makes sense why you're at your books all the time then.
Yeah. Anyway, calling it a night.
Yeah, I think we're good for now. You got the dome up,
Dome is up.
right? And Dreek, we'll I think we can tomorrow as we get into town we can have an actual talk about what's going to happen to you, what you're going to do, what we might have done.
Yeah. there's nothing I could say to convince you to keep me on with the group, huh?
I mean, it just ain't safe, and think of it from our side. It just adds somebody we got to watch out for and protect. That's a lot more work on our end.
Yeah. Yeah, work. That's what it would be, right? Okay. Yeah, whatever
To a
you
degree.
think. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Just to add this, I know you think Trell's awesome, and why do you think she's that awesome? Like she can be that awesome? It's because she knows.
You're putting him on absolute blast.
Yeah.
This kid,
Yeah.
like the volume was at 10, and just Lou just went. Turn that up.
It's because Trell knows she can rely on the rest of us, and we can handle ourselves. So having a kid like you around might make it so she's unable to do all she would want because she needs to worry about you.
He just stares at you. Just full on, just stares.
You just made Syndrome. You
Let's
just
go!
made Syndrome.
It's like that.
I mean, I was Mr. Incredibles a few days
Go
ago when I
home,
was
buddy.
super strong.
It's like that one family member, whether it's like a aunt or uncle or grandmother or something, who
We got a
like
couple
says
of those,
something
yeah.
super embarrassing or whatever in front of, like, you're having a family reunion, and just like asks you the question like, "Oh, I found your pink underwear in the pants, or underwear in the pants." I don't know what that means.
So, kid, you
in the-
lost your virginity
the-
yet? And it's like,
Yeah, that question.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my god.
just staring at you. Nods, looks over at Thrall.
Not really paying attention.
I'm gonna go to-
cracking nuts.
I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks for the pep talk, I guess.
all right,
I guess we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Right. Okay. Whatever. And just kind of walks over and lays back down.
Dude,
Away.
this kid's entering his angsty teen years 6 years too early. I'm gonna pull all 3 of them into the dome because he's not sleeping in the dome with us, right?
I mean, you're not allowing him to sleep. He did last time.
That's up to you.
Oh, he did last time. Oh no, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay, no. So when he goes in the dome, I'm gonna walk away from the dome and gesture them all towards me.
I mean, you
You
can't.
need to
If you
stay
walk
in the
outside the
dome.
dome, it goes away.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't leave the dome.
for
Can't-
me?
you
Oh,
can't leave the
that
dome.
blows. All right. Never mind then.
So you've just been in the dome this whole time since you set it up. We've had all these conversations.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't
Did you-
realize that's how the dome worked.
Did you guys want to have a secret conversation about what you're going to do with me behind my back? You want me to leave and just walk like 20, 50 feet away? And I mean, to just
I mean,
because
you know-
Xander, I already talked to you about this. You know what's going to happen. So
yeah, I'm gonna talk with them about it. Okay,
Alright.
Could you take like a like just a 10-minute?
yeah, no, out into
know.
the dark woods by myself. Maybe I'll go find
yeah,
that weird guy that's by himself. It's fine. Okay.
That, or you could go and pass some time with the animals that have been following us for a while.
Oh yeah, they're probably
nice.
hanging out outside. You can go pet them.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
so
I'll
is
go.
Gade. Gade's also hanging out there.
Gade doesn't like
can't.
me. Yeah. Sad. Sad.
In
but
that
true,
case, stay
but
on the.
You shouldn't feel bad about
I'll
that.
just,
For sure, Gabe doesn't like many people except Trell.
I'll just go hang out with the woodland creatures who like me better than you guys. It's fine. And he just gets up and walks out of the dome. Towards
mean,
the.
The bar
It's
isn't
not-
that high.
Does Gate not fit in the dome?
No.
No.
What is wrong with you guys?
What?
I mean, this kid's lost everything, and like Threll, I mean, he looks up to you, and like you're like, ugh, like you're like blowing him off. And like, I mean, like, I agree, we can't have a kid running around with us. I agree. If it were like my little brother, like, I think I would die. I would die. But like, I mean,
How
having
does that feel, Zender?
having I understand, but having like this attitude about it, like it's like, I mean,
I ain't
he's
done nothing but tell the boy he's not safe around us. I
I
ain't gonna
just
sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna give him
I
some kind of hope that he's gonna got a
yeah,
chance for it.
I mean,
He's
I get it, but like
Like, I'm not
he
thrilled about
he
having like a
clearly, but
kid.
like
Not thrilled
I no,
about.
I get
Uh,
it, I get it, but like he knows you don't like him, and
well,
if
that's not that
there's
I don't like the kid.
well,
I think he's
He's
fine.
talking. He's
that's
talking.
how it's coming off. And if there's anything I know about anything, it's that I know that people don't like me. I know that people value me for something that I have. And people do not like me back home. So if there's anything that's worse than knowing that you're not liked, it's feeling like you're not even valued. So give him just a chance. Like, just talk to him. This kid's lost everything. The only thing he has is that little pony. I mean, this is it. And tomorrow we could arrive in town, and then he's gonna get shipped off, and we're not gonna know what's gonna happen. But yesterday he told me that he doesn't intend on sticking around anywhere. Wherever he goes, he said he wants to go make his own adventure and go do his own thing. And I mean, that's ambitious, but I mean,
The kid'll get himself killed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being too soft about it. But
I mean, look, I understand what you're saying. It makes me really uncomfortable having a kid, like a literal kid, follow me around with some kind of weird crush on me. Like,
To be fair, Freckles, there's a lot of stuff that makes you uncomfortable.
okay, well, you got me there. Uh, I guess I could, I could, I can be a little less vocal about it. I suppose until he gets put where he's going.
look, all I'm saying, there's not. Now that I've left home, and I understand that stories are just stories, and the world isn't what I thought it was. The only thing that you can have out here is hope and a chance. And this kid has neither. And to survive, you have to have at least one.
I
So-
mean, wait, I just realized I was gonna say, Brazier did say he thought of living in with his barkeeper friend,
He won't stay.
but that's in Ryver, and as we found out, Ryver might not be that safe a place right now.
I mean, you ain't gonna find too many places that are considered safe
No, yeah, that's
these
yeah.
days. Not without going a long way.
I mean, this kid's not staying put. Like, we can. I talked to him earlier, and like his dad like drilled survival instinct into him. It's something I guess my dad did with my siblings.
That not normal? You're talking like that's not normal, but like
Well,
everyone does that, right?
Well, I mean, it not for me.
Huh. Yeah,
No, that's
whole
right. You
car-
come from a
whole caravan does that.
fancy family. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people
I
these
mean-
days outside of situations like yours, it's survival is the main goal. People live in towns, but they still teach their kids to be careful and how to live and survive in the woods and whatnot if needed. But
My most of my siblings know. You know, we're all of us know a little bit of magic, and most of us know how to do some kind of survival stuff, but I'm not that great outdoors. I was never
right, you got your other skills. Your magic makes up for
yeah,
any of
You don't
that.
need to be good at everything to survive.
but what I'm saying is this kid he doesn't want to stay put. I don't know what kind of ideas of grandeur he has, but he wants to leave and go and make something of himself at the young age of 11. And while that's not a great look on paper, if we're not going to stick around to stop him, at the very least, we can give him the tools to try and succeed. I think we get into town, maybe we get him some armor, just fit him up a little, and we'll put him somewhere. Put him with a family or whatever happens. And if he goes off and does his own thing, at least he's ready. At least he has the best chance. So that's one of the two things that you need out here. I could pay for it.
Well,
What does Black Star do?
Kid's gotta make his own way in this world. If he wants to go out and have a party all by his lonesome out in the dangerous dark worlds that are out there, I say let's give him the best chance he can get, you know? Not all of us were given the same options, and who are we to deny him the chance to go out with a bang, so to speak?
all right. Well, we can at least talk with Turzon about it. Kid may not want to stick around, but Turzon might want to still look after the kid, and maybe we could convince him to stick in one spot long enough to, I don't know, train a bit or something.
Yeah,
Give himself
I
a
mean,
couple
even-
more years before he
even that.
heads off. And like I said, I don't want to give the kid hope, but if he trains for a few years and comes some kind of like squire or something, maybe then we'd have a spot for him with our group if we get enough stuff we want to
We live
drag
that
along
long?
with us. If we get a wagon, if we live that long, or if we stick together and we end up with some kind of base like kind of thing, he might be a good steward, protector of that, and we could give him something like that.
Please, Razir, of course we're going to live that long. And with the plans, at least I have for myself ahead of us with this group, can't have a child running around with us. Surely, Xander, you can see that.
Nah, he said so himself. But as far as what he said, giving the boy some kind of hope or direction in the right way, rather than letting him run off on his own, it makes sense.
That's it. That's all I got. I think it's important. You know, if there's going to be more people like us, you know, who are willing to do their best to try and help people, we need to continue spreading that message in our behavior and towards other people.
Yeah, it's now that you say it like that, that probably what Duke would have wanted too. So that little bit of bright eyes we got left in the group, let it help that kid out. All right, so we got one more thing on our list to do in town. Figure out some kind of help for the boy. Get him set up least to give him a place he can come back to if he needs to.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I got.
And yeah, I think we can all be a little bit easier on the kid. I think we've forgotten he just went through what he went through.
It's just the soft sound of the small child snoring out amidst the small woodland creatures that surround the dome that you find yourselves in the comfortable situation. And there's no light outside of the dome as everything's kept within it, and it's a nice warm interior as you all find the rest of your thoughts for the evening, and I'm assuming drift off to sleep with Razir keeping an eye on things throughout the evening. The evening comes and goes. Yes.
Before that, I want to talk to Xander.
Okay.
Hey. So, it's good of you to step up and say something to the group on behalf of that kid.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I don't like to speak too much, but when I do, I feel like it's important.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, so good on you for making a decision and saying something, even though it's hard for you to do. You need a little bit of that gumption to step outside your comfort and speak up when needed.
I'm trying. It's
Yeah,
hard.
you're doing all right. But I was wondering as you were talking about the boy, some of that sounded a bit like it was coming from your side of things. You mentioned you had a bit of experience in the same direction of having to deal with some of that stuff, but it sounded like some of that might have still been coming from stuff you're dealing with now. You feeling like you don't belong in this group or something? Or that we don't want you here or don't value you or something?
No. I mean, you're great. You're great. I really like hanging out with you. Like you have a lot of really cool stuff that I really like learning from you, and I think you have a lot like a really good attitude about like surviving out here, and it's kind of something that I like wish I had, like that kind of grit, like this drive to keep going sometimes. But it's so much easier to just give up. And sometimes it's when this pressure is mounting and I get these visions and all these horrible things, it makes me just want to go and run back to my room. You know, and
Well,
I share these things, and you know, it just back home when I shared them, it was like, you know, people liked that I could do that.
yeah. I think that makes sense. Now you got back home you had people to tell and they could help you deal with stuff, and now out here you got to kind of deal with it on your own a bit. But don't forget we all grouped up. You got your brother here, and then the rest of us are all kind of grouped together, and we're all kind of in this as a group. So I mean, I don't know about the rest, about Freckles or the way Bright Eyes was, or how Hothead is now. I appreciate the them visions you get, them dreams you get. They've steered us in the right direction so far. And if it's something you got, I ain't bothered by it or worried by it. It's a nice little thing to have. And I've said it before. Look at the group we're in. We all got our own things. Just ain't seeing the future.
Yeah,
Or
it's a lot of
whatever it
pressure.
is you see. I'm sure it is, but look, as far as my grit or drive for survival, that's something I've built up over the years. I wasn't always this way. There was quite a few times when I about gave up and just lied in the dirt and mud for a long time. But eventually I got myself back on my feet and kept crawling, kept moving. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes you don't always got to be sprinting towards your destination. If you crawl a bit, it's still moving in the right direction. And if it all feels too heavy, put it down for a while. If you need, or you got people around you that could help you carry it. I don't know how y'all's family was back home, but seems at least between you and your brother, y'all are pretty close, and sure, he wouldn't mind talking about stuff, and you're still young, but something you should learn is when you got people you know you can rely on, that are close to you, and you know you can trust, that you should rely on them. They're, just like they might rely on you for something, you can rely on them. So if you're comfortable enough with the rest of us, or even if it's just still your brother, just you don't gotta carry it all on your own.
Yeah, I've been feeling a little disconnected from Louise lately.
Is it because of his new forced spirit magic stuff?
No, that's kind of residual from home. I mean, Dad always took him and my siblings out and, would show them how to hunt and stuff in the forest. That's all of us have a little bit of something, and I'm glad he's finally finding his thing, and really capitalizing on that. I guess it's just he seems so put together, and we come from the same place and from the same family, and I mean, he's just mentally there always, and he doesn't, at least visibly, freak out like I do. And maybe it's that experience in the forest, but he feels so much more adult and far away, even though he's only a couple of years older than me.
All right. You ever cut down a tree?
No.
No. You've seen a tree cut down?
I've in books.
You
Yeah.
know how trees get cut down. You
Yeah.
use an axe or a saw, right?
Yeah.
You ever think of using a hammer to cut down a tree?
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't make no sense. It's not the right tool for the job. Well, I see, based on what you've told me and told us about your upbringing and what you've learned and your skill sets and specialties, you and your brother are different tools. Just so happens that in the past few weeks, y'all have been trying to do, the project has been more suited to the tool that Louise is. Y'all have been out in the woods and exploring the wilderness, which seems right up his wheelhouse. I guarantee you, we get into any kind of crazy magic stuff and whatnot, you'll shine just as bright as he can. I mean, think back to the museum. You were a bit more on point with knowing what's what and dealing with the Zanladir than your brother.
The museum was so cool.
Right. So you just gotta remember that different tool for different job. Just because you ain't good at this job don't mean he's better than you. He's just more suited for the current situation. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know is when you start comparing yourself to others, there's always going to be something that they're better than you at. That's just how life is. Everybody's good at different stuff. What you got to start focusing on is what you are good at. Whether somebody else is better at it than you, don't matter none, unless you're in some kind of contest. But just keep in mind what you're good at. None of us can do some of the crazy magics that you can, and you're only getting stronger by the day, it seems. I bet down the road when we're in some kind of kerfuffle, you're going to be slinging big kinds of magic, and we're going to be all amazed that we have you on our team.
Well, I hope so. Thanks.
And if Freckles ever gets some of them flying boats she's talking about, I'm gonna want somebody got magic. Make sure that thing flies or whatever it does, floats in the air.
Like
Something.
kind of like an engineer.
Look,
Like
all I
an
know is
engineer.
you can work on the name, but yeah, I'll feel a lot better having somebody who can, I don't know, maybe fly around. But yeah, that's all I'm trying to say is you got your strength, your brother's got his. We're just in situations where his strengths are needed right now.
A mage engineer.
You're on that. Okay. But yeah, you're valued here. We appreciate having you here. And as far as the rest of us lacking you, I think we all do lack you fairly well.
I think so too. I think, it feels good to feel like I have friends.
Friends indeed.
All right.
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. And like I said, you got troubles or something weighing you down, let us know. Give you a hand. Best we can.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and be more open.
I think it'll be good for you.
Okay. Thanks. And good night.
Yeah, you sleep well.
I'll try.
Okay. I love the amount of RP that these characters get to have. There's just so much, feels like there's so much more depth than there has been in some other, not that Daenerys and Coda didn't have depth, because they certainly did, but I don't know, this group just feels different.
Not quite the same dynamic. Yeah.
It's not quite the same dynamic.
Definitely not the same dynamic.
Coda was a completely different character.
Oh, definitely, 100%. And so was Bear.
Yeah.
Gosh dang, Bear.
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 Okay, so you guys settle in for the. Nope.
You guys are free to continue going on. I have a friend staying over because Hofstra made everybody move out already. So I'm just gonna help him bring his stuff into my house really quick. But keep going.
Can you do me a favor before you step away?
Yes.
Can Xander please, as Xander falls to sleep for the evening, can Xander please make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh God.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you're stepping away.
Will you come back to a dream?
Oh, I will.
Oh yeah.
I think I will. I think I'm gonna have a restless night's sleep.
Go. The evening comes and goes without event. There's no dream that comes to Xander for the evening.
I thought he had failed those.
It's gonna happen when he wakes up.
Eventually,
Or
you guys will
terrified.
understand
Daydream.
the mechanics that I have set behind his system, but not yet. It's a pretty definitive thing. So I mean, it's happened enough times. I mean, the characters don't have any clue, obviously.
Yeah, but we do.
as the players,
We have meta knowledge.
that when he's rolled higher is when he's had his visions.
No.
Yeah.
So basically, you don't actually want a wisdom check. You just want a D20, but you say a wisdom save.
His character mentioned he's had visions, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens. We don't know when.
Don't know when or why. It's not
Yes.
not
So far, I
explained.
think he's at 3, 4.
3 or 4 since we've grouped up, I think. Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if he's mentioned all of them, but a couple of them at least. Yep.
yeah, the evening. I don't know how long it's gonna take him to bring the stuff in, but
A bit.
for the sake of, again, for brevity, and because I really wanted to get at least 2 Ryver this evening, despite all of your attempts at keeping us out in the woods and not getting there.
It's funny that we're not even trying. We're just getting into doing RP and stuff. And
Yeah.
it ended up happening.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Role playing in my role playing game.
I love it.
You guys want to go to the top of Hope's Ridge real quick?
Yeah, just go for a quick hike.
Yeah.
Instead of going to town.
It's
Wow.
a little day thing, you know.
Just get a lay of the land. Take a look down
Yeah.
on Gambler's Basin and Ryver and get yourself a telescope.
We want to go overlook the town rather than go to it.
Oh man, you're so close.
If we just pass it, we just pass Ryver.
I mean, you guys were
Just
talking about
keep
going to Mount
going.
Solitude. I thought you were going to be like,
All
let's
this-
just not
all
go to
this build
Ryver.
up. All this build up, we were like, there's the town, and we're like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah,
Oh,
straight to Tel
Just go
Nora.
like that.
Yeah,
just go
Go
around
around,
it, straight
right.
through. To the next bridge.
Yep. Which is significantly smaller.
Yeah, I'd hope so. 'Cause that looks like a normal river.
Yeah. To be fair, the estimated time it took to come across that bridge, like that's like an inland ocean that you guys crossed on a bridge. Basically, it is what it is. It's fine. It's a game. I'm not really
Miles
necessarily
and
as worried.
miles wide.
Uh-huh.
Big river.
Big
Lake.
honkin' river lake.
Yep.
Lake River.
Are we going to do anything in the morning?
No, I was about to tell you that the evening goes by uneventfully. You wake up in the morning and there's breakfast and whatever it is you would be preparing for yourselves. I'm assuming Louise,
Alright.
as
More
normal,
along.
is
Ellen and Will decided around like 10 last night. Yeah, we got places.
Oh, he didn't mute himself when he looked away.
Nope.
Go. And I'm like, wow, screw the both of
You
you. I also
Oh,
think
wow.
but yeah,
Tim, you should mute him.
pretty much.
Oh.
It took a 30-minute.
I think in the morning, I will get together a plate of food and bring it over to the boy.
he's like mouth hanging open, drool coming down the side of his face onto his chest and off of his shoulder onto the ground. And there's just like a couple of squirrels that are also mouths open, drool coming out onto him, just like laying all over his body. And he's just kind of wrapped in a furry cushion.
But it's squirrels.
Kind of walk over to him with a plate of food. Yeah.
Morning, boy.
Should sneak up on people like that. You know, I could have taken your hand off or like, you know, stabbed you or something. So just be careful.
And I'm gonna hold the plate with my other hand and hold on, show off my wooden hand. I don't know. I already lost one.
It's probably because you were waking people up when they were sleeping, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet it was.
Hey, this is for you. Come over and sit and have breakfast.
Yeah. Breakfast. Are you sure that everybody wants me to be over there and Thrall's not going to be upset and I don't want to make her walk away? You guys are all our friends and everything, so.
It was fine. Just come on over. No one wants you going. Well,
I mean,
no one's trying to
Can't lie to me.
get rid of you with any kind of malicious intent. Look,
Yeah.
you're with us for now. Just come have breakfast.
Right.
We got a lot to talk about today.
Okay. Just walks over. Just like immediately, just like scarfing the food down and getting it all over his face, and it's kind of like dribbling down the front of his chest, and just occasionally glancing over at Thrall, just not like to make eye contact and not even trying to be caught, but obviously it's very obvious that he's just like eating and like looking over at Thrall, and just keeps going back to it.
Brill probably wouldn't notice, just kind of eating her own breakfast and, giving Gade his breakfast, that kind of stuff. Just a little preoccupied.
Thrall, you need help? I could feed Gade if you want.
No, it's fine. No, we do this every morning, and then I'll take I'll bite into like a strip of bacon and rip it in half, and then throw him the other half. It's kind of like we eat at the same time, kind of thing.
Throw the other half to Gade, obviously.
Yeah, to
right?
Gade.
Not to the boy. Okay.
We actually been more clear than that.
No, the deer. I was talking to you.
The
The
deer,
deer's eating bacon. No.
That would be weird.
Right. Yeah. Here, Buttercup throws it. Hits the ground.
I now have a mental image of this horse. It's definitely like cross-eyed and a tongue sticking out the whole time. It's a derpy horse.
Yes.
Oh my
It's
god.
a pony. It's a tiny pony. That's just.
Tiny pony.
But it's super happy though. Don't forget.
Oh,
Super happy.
oh boy.
I
Did
need
we
to
make
talk
it?
to Buttercup.
Wait, all right. What did I miss? What did I miss?
How much?
was
Why is
We woke
everyone
up.
laughing?
I woke up the kid, gave him breakfast, brought him over. He was like, "You sure you want me over there?" I was like, "Yeah, come get breakfast." Throw was feeding Gade half her bacon, and then Drake tried to imitate with Buttercup, so ate half and threw it at Buttercup and just kind of like smacked Buttercup in the face. And then I was like, well, now I imagine this pony is like super derpy with like cross-eyed and a tongue sticking out the whole time.
And I'm like, canon. That is exactly what it is.
And now Louise is going to speak with animals.
Yeah.
With
Oh
Buttercup.
my god. Oh my god.
Yes.
We're not
Wait.
making it to Ryver. Unbelievable. We're actually not making it to this
But
town.
what? Luis didn't say he was actually doing that though. Did you,
Yes.
Felix? You did?
Yeah.
Put it
Are
in
you
the chat.
serious?
Yes.
He cast it
I
already.
He
clicked
put it in the
views.
chat? Where's
It's
the chat?
cast already.
Under
Oh.
He cast Speak
Yeah.
with Animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey there, Buttercup. How's
Oh
it
my
going?
God.
You're really doing this. Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So the description that Eric gave of Buttercup is wasn't in my head originally, but now is cemented in as what this pony looks like. 100%. One eye up to the right, one off to the left hand side. Long pink tongue sticking out. Almost looks like it's a white pony with like a tannish pink mane that kind of hangs off the side. And it just like as you say its name, it like hops in place and moves in your direction, or just like turns in your direction. You swear you hear a squeaky noise of like a squeaky toy, like beep, just kind of like as it moves and faces you. And it like tries to make eye contact with you, but its eyes are moving in different directions, and it's like trying to find where you are. And finally, like the
switching
one
between
left
them?
eye looks over. Yeah, it's like moving around. One eye finally locks onto you, and its tongue just like up onto its face and down, and you see part of its mane kind of fall down in front of its face.
Dude, before you start speaking, I would just love for this to happen, and then it's like, speak, mortal. Like, like this
So
pony,
funny.
this pony needs to be this like,
Buttercup.
yeah. This,
What dost thou wish of Buttercup the Immortal?
Oh man, You've taken away all the fun of me being able to do that as the persona.
You weren't gonna.
I can't do that because you said that that's what it had to sound like.
You
Hi.
still can.
Yes. Hey, but yeah. Just thinking. Are you fine traveling all this?
Traveling. All this.
All right. Yeah.
More
No,
hair. More of the mane comes down in front of the face. Hi.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Hi. Do you want some berries?
Berries?
Yes.
What is it? What? I know Jason's posting something right now. What is? I don't actually get that reference. What is?
You haven't watched the Lego
it's
movie?
It's only one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
Business. Numbers.
It's from the Lego movie.
Yep.
Hold on 1 second. Let me
Oh my God, this
pull
is
this
too funny.
together for half a second. So Drake feeds me when he wants to, and you have the really shiny, round, sweet things, and I need them, and I'm going to eat them, and more.
She's like, I'm underfed. Please.
I starve daily. Give me sustenance.
So, small boy
Give me souls to feast.
doesn't know, feed, pony, hard life, weak, and help.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
We've gotten ourselves into these gray moral areas, guys. We're like
Xander. Yesterday the kid said if we were to leave him behind, he'd take Buttercup away, and he wouldn't want that, right?
yeah. Yeah, that was
All right. So Buttercup, do you like being with Drake?
Hi. You're the first person to talk to me. Can I tell you a secret? Out in the South Holt, I was taken from my family. And it's like, you just have to imagine, right? The tongue sticking out, trying to like talk at the same time, and the eyes kind of like looking around, making sure like Drake isn't nearby, never making direct eye contact with you, sometimes like looking at you, and sometimes very rarely the eyes lock together and like look you up and down, but then like switch off and go left and right and all around, and it's super creepy and weird.
The pony's an eldritch aura, guys. I'm calling
Yeah,
it now.
holy moly.
I
This is
was
a
taken
fey creature.
from my family, and they look like the pony like reaches up and like does one of these with the mane. Look, cut off my horn. I was my dad said don't go towards the portal, and I didn't listen. When I came through, things were weird, and I it's hard for me to focus as I'm not supposed to be here. They told me not to come, and I'm scared. Drake, he does the best he can, but he's a little boy, and all he knows, his dad bought him a pony, and that's... I don't belong here. But I'll take your berries if that's what you want to do.
Why did you speak to it? We could have lived without knowing this information. But now you've spoken to it, and now we have to do something with this information.
Actually, he has a choice to make first of whether he tells anybody about what
Yes.
he's heard.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I didn't tell you guys about the animals saying, "Oh yeah, you can eat us if you want."
Yeah. Does Louise hear this and be like, nope, and just ignores it for the rest of his day? Takes that to his grave.
Mhm.
I feel like that's a pretty good option. Like,
Oh my god.
wait. You said you came through a portal. What in the South Alt? Was it like in a tower, the portal, or was it?
Oh, no, not in a tower. That's very wow, tower. No, it was out in the middle of the woods, and then when I went, the thing is there hasn't been a portal, and in a long time, and where I come from, and then there was one all of a sudden in my backyard. It was out in the garden, and my mommy said don't go near it, but then I couldn't help. It was so pretty and sparkly, and there was this lightning all around the outside of it, and then it was like in the bushes, and then I went through it, but then when I turned around it was gone. But there were like scary creatures in the woods, and those scary creatures ended up being people. And the people, they captured me, and they said, we found one, and then they cut off my horn. And to be honest, I didn't know what that was going to feel like, but it didn't hurt at all because they drugged me. So, but I'm here now, so it's... I just want you to know, Eric gave me a visual description, and I had instant backstory for this pony. Instant backstory. Entire.
So you just decided to traumatize us. This is a choice you just made.
I had an entire. It was a stinking pony for Drake, the little boy that you're going to abandon in Ryver. What do you want me to do? Create a whole pre-backstory for this little pony? No, I didn't have it beforehand. Yes, this is all.
You didn't
off
have
the
to have
cuff.
anything, and you just decided to make it traumatizing. Okay.
It's.
It could have just been a dumb pony, man. It didn't have
It
to
was
be
gonna
this
be.
way.
I don't know how many
Yeah,
times
well-
I have to describe the fact that this world is incredibly dark. The entire world is so dark, and you will continue to come across things like this. This is what you signed up for. I told you
Yeah.
that this was going to happen.
It is like-
I don't want to play anymore.
It is going to be one horrendous moral dilemma after another. This entire campaign.
Ooh, sorry, Alex. While you were gone, we decided to end the campaign because of trauma.
It's in the campaign description.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Okay. So, unicorn child kidnapped and... Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
How long ago
don't know
did you come
nothing.
through the portal?
Oh, what?
Like you said, you came through the portal to get here. But how long ago was that? Do you know?
Time is weird. Yeah. A couple weeks ago? I don't know. Yeah. See, the thing is, where I come from, the days and the nights are kind of the same thing, so it just kind of all washes together. So, I don't really know what time of day.
No, it's just because a few weeks ago we actually like saw a portal in the South Hole, but like it was in a tower.
Yeah, the people that captured me, they said that there was more portals opening up around, and that they go to places that haven't been opened up in like 100 years. I don't really know. How long does this last? How long have you been able to talk to people like me?
I mean, for a while now.
Wow.
Just-
Wait, you've been traveling all this time and you never said hi? That's really weird.
Well, I can only do it like for a few minutes each day.
Oh. Yeah.
And like yesterday I did it with the like all the other animals, and
Yeah. Okay. Well, I told you all about me. Are you going to tell me all about you now?
well yeah.
He's like, we don't have time.
You're just a pony. You're just an abandoned
He's
baby,
not even a pony.
baby unicorn.
He's not even a pony. So, you said you wanted to stay with Deke, right? Dreek, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be really nice if I could get back to my family, but that I don't know how that could ever happen. I think at least Dreek. Well, you've fed me a lot more than what it feels like Dreek has fed me. I think he thinks I don't need to eat, but I do. He did throw that thing at me just now, and nobody's ever thrown food right directly at my face before, so I wasn't ready. But
I mean, yeah, who would do that? Throw food at people.
oh, that scary big woman with the giant, like the giant elk with no antlers. That their relationship that they have is that's a strange one. But I don't mind. I wouldn't mind if you kept talking to me, but Dreek seems sad, so I hope you help him. And well, anyways, have you concluded your conversation with the?
I mean, yeah, it's
the pony?
only for 10 minutes. It's not like.
Were there any other pertinent, questions you were going to be?
I'd be kind of stunned after hearing all that.
Yeah, it's a pretty traumatizing.
Yeah.
Situation.
All right. Okay, so Drake, where do you say you found Buttercup?
Oh, my dad. He brought her home one day and just said, "Here's your new friend." Yeah, I saw you guys like come through town that one, that first time, and there was like the incident with the chickens originally, and then I said, Dad, I want a pet. I want something that's going to be my best friend that I can grow up with and I can train to be this awesome like hunting thing. And then he just brought me home this pony, and the rest is history. He said it came from some faraway land, but it's cool. So,
all right.
Why do you want to know?
And I know it's just maybe you should give Buttercup a little more food.
What?
I mean, just look at her. She's kind of thin. She doesn't look all that healthy. You should take better care of her.
She's a pony.
And ponies eat food.
Like grass?
I mean, kind of, but
Dies.
grass isn't all that good for them. Like, it's not filling enough.
The horses eat grass. Okay, yeah, feed her more. I get it. It's fine. I got it. Wait, how do you know?
He's so
Well,
offended.
I'm kind of good with animals. That's it.
Yeah, I'm good with animals too. Just like Thrall.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this. Feed her more.
I mean,
yeah. Buttercup
'cause-
just like takes out, like he just out of nowhere has this like pile of leaves, takes out of his bag and walks over and opens up Buttercup's mouth and up her mouth. And the pony's just chewing on the leaves, eyes just going, tongue out with the leaves, just going. See, she's good. Yeah, right, Buttercup. Kind of like hits her on the side of the head. Not hits her, but just just pats her on the side of the head. Right, you're good. Good girl. Yeah. A little bit of tongue sweat on the top of the mane here. Gotcha. Okay, we're gonna get up on the. Are we? We're mounting up. We're getting ready to go. Is that what we're doing? Final destination for me. Isn't that right, Buttercup?
Give Buttercup like like a berry or something.
I already gave Buttercup
Yeah,
two
where
berries.
are the beads of nourishment when you need them?
Sensu bean.
I mean, that's what I have.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I have.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty much sensu beans. Right. Well, whatever that was. Yeah, I guess we'll pack up and head out. Yeah.
Louise.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it to myself for now.
Oh my god. All right, let's get to this town.
Okay. The day's journey from the forest to the outskirts of Ryver are uneventful. There are rolling flatlands with slightly increasing slopes here and there, almost like very, very low hills coming down from the mountains that kind of make their way in this direction. And when you get maybe a few miles outside of Ryver, it almost completely levels off to where you just have fields with a very few dotted trees here and there throughout the area around the city. When it comes into view, you do see a sprawling town with many buildings throughout, made of stone, made of straw and wood. Typical town that you would see, slightly different architecture that you had seen from Beacon previously. The wall that surrounds the town, you see that before you see anything else. Rising about 30 or 40 feet off the ground, stone and metal kind of make up. There's plating on the outside of the wall, as though the city had been under attack at some point, and instead of repairing it with stone and mortar, they decided to take giant metal plates and plaster them on the sides of these walls, kind of reinforcing them with metal instead of stone. Cresting over the top of one of these hills, you get an actual viewpoint from less than a mile away, to the point where you can actually see the dotted terrain. And I'll bring you to the Ryver map now so you can see it.
Ooh.
Finally.
Neat.
At that.
Look at that. Oh goodness.
Um,
Looks kind of swampy.
well,
No, it's cobblestone.
Is it mossy cobblestone?
Aha.
that's funny. On the outskirts of the walls, you do see patches of greenery, whether it be vines or moss that are kind of meandering their way up the sides of these walls. The thing that catches your attention as you approach the town is that at the main entrance from the northern entrance to the city, where you're approaching from, there is a small caravan. There are multiple caravans that are in a line. It looks like 3 sets of carts with horses, varying colors. Like there's this one group that has like 12 carts all together, and one that's only 4, and then another one that's like 8 or 9. And they look, I would say some of them look heavily armored. Maybe there's guards that are traveling along. Thrall, the thought of, oh, do I know who this is? You probably know who it is, but it isn't your family. It isn't your caravans that are traveling here to Ryver, but you do recognize
other
Yeah.
companies that I may be familiar with.
there, and there are others out there. And it isn't just that they're helping people. It's not like caravans that are transporting goods. It's actual companies that own these caravans that are either transporting people or goods or, who knows, messages. Could be a traveling group of minstrels or bards. There's, outside of the main gates on the left-hand side, there is an actual part of the wall kind of sticks along to the left of this giant double door that leads into the city itself. you aren't able to directly approach the people that are outside. There's like a bunch of guards that are lined up in front of the gates. One of which seems to be the leader of all the guards. I think that Razier would probably know who this is real quick. And don't worry, we are gonna wrap this up momentarily. I just kind of wanted to get past this.
You know what you could do? We stop the game as soon as we get to the gate to Ryver, so we never actually got to Ryver.
We are approaching Ryver.
There is a human male who has like a really well trimmed blonde beard and like shoulder length blonde hair that comes back, and a helmet underneath one arm, and a large sword, a shield kind of on their back, and riding on top of one of these massive spiders that is larger than some of the other ones that you see around the front gates of the entryway going into Ryver itself. Razier would know this to be Captain Abraham Morris and his companion captain of the guard, Koliki, the spider.
Are they companion? Like they're dating?
No, they both share captainship of the guard.
Captain.
Co-captain, captain and co-captain, but they both share that, and so he's like sitting on top of this spider, even though the spider itself has a all the spiders have their own unique personalities. The thing that catches your attention is that all the caravans are lined up in a row, kind of waiting to their turn to be inspected and whether or not they're going to be allowed to enter the town of Ryver. But on the left hand side, past the caravans, or from your perspective, you see a row of medium to large sized spiders who, again, Razier probably would have seen before and recognizes immediately as Octawave. The group of 6 raiders of Ryver are lined up along the left-hand side wall next to the gate and are just kind of eyeing the caravans as they're being inspected by the combination of human and spider, or humanoid. There's an elf and a dwarf and some random individual guards that are kind of inspecting things as they're going along. Do you guys arrange yourselves in a way that you're behind the caravans to
Probably should
be allowed to be brought in?
Yeah, we got to be in line, right? Yeah.
Okay. So you're 4th in line. You can't quite make out the conversation that's going on with the group that's currently being inspected, but I would ask Thrall to make a history check for me, please.
Ooh,
You're sure that I can't make out that conversation?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can she read their lips?
From your perspective right now, you're definitely too far away from where you are.
Even with 120 feet of vision?
It's way more than 120 feet away from you.
I got my eye on
Can
you.
I?
It's
use
like
my
it's
super
like
hearing I don't have?
it's like
Nah.
eight cards and then like 4 and then like 12 cards. So you're like way past, beyond
Okay,
that
sure.
range.
Sure.
What was your 7?
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Can you help?
So
I mean,
so what you
could
see
use a reroll.
Yeah, right. I'll drop a reroll on you.
there's what you do see is okay. So the first group that's currently being inspected is a group of gnomes. They're kind of like all along the side. There's like 16 of them, and they're lined up along the side of these 6 carts. And there are goods that are being taken out of boxes and inspected inside of. There's paperwork by a leader of the gnomes that's showing it to the captain. They're having kind of like a harsh discussion in the gnome. You hear like the raised voice of, "But we were invited!" And that's like what you hear kind of reverberating off like from way away. And the guard just kind of, or the captain has a very stern look on their face. And eventually, after they're inspected, they're allowed to pass through. The gates open up. There seems like there's like some kind of giant chain mechanism on the inside that allows it to open for the caravan to come inside. The next in line seems to be a mixture of half giants and Goliaths that are on these massive carts. There's only 4 of them in the middle here. And on the side of their carts, they do have printed Wander Strong Trading. And the carts themselves are like heavy, thick iron plating, or not plating, but bands that go over the top with like locks in like 40 million different places all along the sides of this. And there's huge crates. Like everybody in this caravan looks super strong, like they can pick up a house and carry it with them. They don't have any weaponry on them necessarily, but maybe they could be concealing it underneath the carts or underneath some of the cloth that's there. But they definitely have something, or a couple of massive things that they're carting into the town within a very.
Do they have like train shipping container sized wagons kind of deal?
Kind of, yeah. So it's not like
Cool.
4 regular size wagons. They're like, the wagons themselves are probably like 2.5 to 3 times the size of what a normal wagon that a normal horse would be pulling. And instead of there being
Big boy 8-wheel wagons.
instead of there being horses that are pulling them, they literally grab onto the rungs of the front of this thing and like like walking forward as they're pulling it forward into the town. So they're out of the. There's 4 people that are pulling the carts, and like then 4 others that get behind it and push it and kind of make its way into the town through the. They have to, like, the gates are, 30, 40 feet tall, so they're not that tall, so they don't have to duck under the archway or anything. But they make their way in very, very slowly. The final one coming in. Very flamboyantly decorated, looks like a guild of bards that have come to town and are readying themselves for a voracious party, as there are. But the thing that you notice specifically, besides the fact that there's multicolored cloth hanging from everything and ribbons and banners that are like streaming behind the carts, almost in this like display of majesty, but everything is extremely ragtag and tattered and frail and kind of falling apart. There's a person at the front who looks almost like a rat humanoid, but you can tell it's like a human of some kind, but like their face is like weird and kind of elongated, and they have their hands in the air and they're doing this, and there's like a gentle breeze blowing all of the cloth backwards, making it look like there's streamers kind of flowing off the back of the carts. All of the individuals that surround this, there's probably like 30 or 40 of them, look like they could be acrobats, and they all like look super agile and
Circus.
but this is kind
Circus
of
is intact.
pretty much like a circus that's arriving, kind of, but they all look like scrawny. It's hard to say that they look athletic and then scrawny at the same time. They look very, very thin, but they look like they're capable of, all kinds of extravagant things.
Spry.
There's one tabaxi who, again, very, very thinner than any you've seen before, kind of like does like a triple somersault and lands in front of the captain and does a flourish and presents a very long scroll that folds or rolls out and kind of hits the ground and dunk, 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 and rolls underneath the spider's legs, and the spider kind of like backs up a little bit as the captain looks down and just kind of like gives a what the heck kind of look to the scenario that's happening right now. Just kind of inspects the top part of the scroll and then grants them entry, like get out of my hair kind of scenario. And all 12 of the carts start to proceed forward. One of them hits a bump in the rock and a rock in the road and bumps onto the ground. The right side of the cart unfolds, and this huge staircase with the sound of almost like somebody running their hand over a piano as the staircase unfolds and rolls out with a giant red carpet that unfolds 40 feet away from where the cart was. And there's like a couple curse words that happen, and some of these like small spry individuals, one gnome, one halfling, and I don't remember I signed everybody all kinds of stuff, but I can't remember at this point. Runs out and grabs onto it and kind of rolls it up, and people are yelling at each other as the cart behind it bumps into it and kind of pushes it forward a little bit. They do have some very what looks like malnourished horses that are pulling these carts forward. They seem so they're spry, they're agile, but they are in need of something. So it looks like they're on their last leg, so to speak.
It's a cursed circus.
Nah, they don't.
It's a
Maybe
failing
Maybe.
unicorn trafficking is now a big thing. Maybe Tim has just made the executive decision to just make unicorn trafficking massive in this world.
You don't see any unicorns or ponies with their horns chopped off in this so far from what you've seen here.
We haven't been paying attention enough.
Maybe.
We're gonna start scrutinizing every single pony and horse from here on out.
Are you a unicorn? Are you a unicorn?
Are horses unicorns?
Wow.
Is the cut horn noticeable?
She had to like push the mane out of the way. You don't know this, but
Yeah,
from Louise's perspective, it's from anybody's perspective, it's not noticeable. No, she had to push the mane out of the way. So, yeah, so it's finally your turn to step up as you're walking past, because the Octawave kind of make their presence known only from the perspective that they're kind of like staring at every single person that's entering, and the guard kind of holds his hand up and calls next as you guys walk up to the front gates of Ryver, and the members of Octawave as Razir, I don't know if you tell the rest of the party that's who this is before you get there.
Oh.
Yeah, I would have mentioned no.
Point
Speaking
out.
of Octawave, that's them right there.
Right.
Them's the Raiders.
So they're fully decked out in very well made
Spider
armor.
gear.
That it's not just spider gear. It's like magic armor and rings and all kinds of things kind of fit whoever it is that's attuning to it, which is a little
Sometimes they
strange.
fit a bit
for-
too well, right, Xander?
We'll get to that when the time comes. Anyways, yeah, they look very well outfitted and definitely like I don't know if Razir probably knows and or would. What's your perception check for?
I didn't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
What, the ring?
Him itching his finger constantly throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's definitely a thing that happens. Yeah. They look very well outfitted. They look like they're adventurers. I mean, they're raiders. You know what raiders should look like. They've definitely got magical items on them. They're not being aggressive. They're just, you can tell with their spider eyes that they're eyeing you. They're looking you up and down and kind of making their own assessment. And as we approach the captain of the guard to enter Ryver, that's where we're going to go ahead and call tonight's session.